is seeing if betting if someone else
betting on everything
is ready to take that poop on your steps or not.
Yeah, that's right.
As true today as when it was written. All right, let's do a podcast. Welcome to the show. It's August the 12th, 2019.
Yep, sounds about right.
Sounds good.
Holy, it's like almost fall. My name's Matt Eads. Episode 284 of the Talking Reckless podcast. Bryce Zinnick is here.
I'm here. It's almost a lot of things. If you just round up, you gotta live in the moment, you know?
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Colin
Kevin
Kalinsky.
Whoa.
I had a lot of names. I started with Cox, and that's what fucks me up. That's what fucked me up. Fucked
you up.
With an X.
Why did you start with Cox?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Don't worry,
as well.
just COX.
Yeah.
Last name.
Yeah, not Brando.
My middle name, Ross. I am named after a man named Ross Cox. COX. There you go.
COX?
Never heard of him.
Also went to school with his grandson, also named Ross Cox. COX.
The second.
So I went to school with Ross Cox.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
So I went to all the schools Matt went to.
Yep.
Oh.
I don't remember Ross Cox, so...
I don't remember Ross Cox either.
He was. I don't know
that
if he's
sounds
the same.
to me
True
like
story.
an imaginary friend.
He's not even a friend. He's just the dude I'm named after. Because I guess my dad and his dad, or my dad and his
Your dad and his
grandfather
dad?
were friends. I guess I don't know.
Sure.
Your dad and his dad
You tell
were
that to a
friends.
shrink and see what he says.
Brandon Lynch is here as well.
Hello. Yes, there's a chill in the air.
Pooping on the sidewalk.
That's right.
There's a chill in the
That's
air.
what they call me.
And,
Yeah, we
and,
were
and
talking
his name
about-
is Brandon.
That's right. No, I was just like, because you said it's almost autumn.
Oh, yes, it is. September soon, very soon.
Could be a hotum.
Ooh, I could go for a autumn.
Not.
This summer'em was a shitum.
This is a good. The shitum
There's
worked
a
for me.
shummer.
It was a nice, cool shitum. It was a little rainy. I could use a little less rain.
It
But
was really rainy.
yeah, I like the cool. I like the. I'm not a heat guy.
It's
You know.
perfect summer.
Yeah, but I want.
You don't
like,
have AC.
Yeah, I don't have.
I feel like
AC.
you would be a heat guy.
Then I'm just paying money. Then I'm just like, I gotta get inside and get out of this heat. This sucks.
Every day I wake up and I look at the forecast and I'm like, can I go on a patio today?
No.
And yes, they were all no. Every day was a no.
I like a nice. I'll sit in a patio as long as it's not crazy. I'll sit in a patio with an umbrella in the rain or whatever.
Oh sure.
I like to be
sitting-
warm though.
I like sitting in a storm. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
as
you
long
want
as
to be
it's not
warm.
crazy.
It's the heat with the cold beer that really makes it like a shower beer, but you're not wet.
Oh, like an outside showered beer. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'd go for a shower beer right now.
Uh-oh.
It sounds like we are
Uh-oh. What's happening?
going into the future.
Somebody's mic has... Of course, it's Colin's.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to switch back to that other cable now.
Switch back.
Are we still doing, or is this recording?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Don't stop.
This is the show, baby, where I have to move cables and fix mics. I'll be over here hosting.
Kevin's
Always
standing up in
putting
the
out
corner
fires.
holding fucking cables together.
Okay, how about now?
Hit me.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Okay, there he is.
It's not nearly as bad.
Bust.
Oh.
Fuck. 22.
Might get bad again. Hopefully not.
What are we talking about?
I don't. The summer, sitting in a patio, the rain,
Yeah.
drinking.
Shitmer.
The shitmer.
Oh, it's a great mer.
I've been outside less this summer than any other summer ever.
No wonder
I'm
you
sure.
like this
Yeah, is
weather.
it because of the
then.
weather though?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, exactly.
no. But this weather is more conducive to being inside.
Yes,
I like
that's
Feel
true.
better
As a
about
man
your
who
actions.
likes to be inside most of his time,
Yeah.
we spent thousands of years of human society figuring out how to be inside. I hear that fucking thing
Yeah,
again.
yeah, it's
we're
picking
heading-
up
I'm
again.
not
We're
even
really-
moving.
We're really having troubles today. This is a ghost.
This is,
Why would
The telltale heart.
It's Oliver.
Boom, boom, boom.
I would.
Yeah, it is the telltale heart.
It's not the mic. It's not the cord.
This is weird. This is really weird.
Maybe it's coming from you.
Okay, if I leave the room and you turn the mic on.
Okay, here's what we'll do. Why don't you go grab that other mic that we already fucking swapped out? Yeah. He's gonna go swap that. Wow, technical problems abound. We might need some new equipment.
We ain't got no money for
Ain't
new
got
equipment,
no
man.
money for new
Where can
equipment.
people give us money?
We'll tell you
We-
at the end of the show. Oh, Arthur, we need more money.
Tahiti.
Yes, noise. I built a green screen today.
That's
Dipped in
fun.
the old coffers. Speaking of setting up equipment and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, built a green screen today. under $100.
What'd you make it
Very
with?
proud. PVC pipe.
Ooh,
Plumbing pipe. Yeah.
Fancy.
Oh yeah.
Just had some laying around.
No, I went and bought some.
Oh.
Planned the whole thing out. This was a build. I drew a plan on a
Did it have
piece of
sizes?
paper. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sizes. Wrote myself a shopping list.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like another step on the road to if I ever have kids. Like that's some real dad shit right there. Planned the whole thing out.
Tell you right now, it is disconcerting for landlords to see green screens in places.
Yeah, probably. They almost never come up there, so hopefully that'll be okay.
That you know of.
Well, it's not kids as a cam girl.
I wish.
Every now and again just
Money's better.
spin the bass out.
Oh yeah.
Every now and again we'll be doing something really loud. This week especially, doing stuff for the upcoming, or I guess the just happened Undisputed.
And boy, what a main event.
Woo! Can't believe the things that went down.
Just don't want to spoil it here for the fans.
Nope. Also, it's in the past. I'm watching Colin struggle with a mic.
What?
Really struggle. Oh, you know what else we could do? Stop. If we just pinch the two things and just lift the mic out. Oh, now we're thinking. Yeah, just lift the mic right out of the shock mount. Yeah, it's probably fine like that. You don't gotta. Sure. It's okay.
Sure.
Turn it back as many
Now
twists.
just lift it out. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Don't worry. Sorry, we're fixing our stuff like live as we try
Someone
to do
should
the
also go
show.
put out that fire in the corner while we're.
Hey, but we still got a couple hours on that till it gets too much of a problem, I think.
This is the front.
Yeah.
This is the best show we've ever done.
All right, listen. It's you get what we don't hide anything in editing on this show. Anyways, built my green screen.
And then what happened?
No, I don't know.
Did you get to use it yet?
So sorry. No, just fucked around with it a little bit
'Kay.
to see if it was working okay. It seems okay. Plug yourself back in, and I'll turn your mic on.
Black or purple?
Black. I did get a knock on the door this week. Recording some lines or I guess it'd be like last week or whatever. Whenever we were doing that trailer thing, that video package for Undisputed, where Warren and I are just fucking screaming in that video.
Yes.
Had a lady knock on the door, and immediately I was like, well, the jig is up because I was just yelling. And came over from down the hall.
Wow, not even the neighbor.
The next door, but across the hall and then down one. And was like, hey, we just heard some yelling. I just want to make sure everything was cool. I'm like, yep, sorry about that. We'll keep it down. It's like 11:30 a.m. on like a Thursday afternoon
come
or something.
Knock on my door at 11:30. This is my noisy time.
I was just screaming. Suplexer. I was just screaming. Absolutely screaming.
I think there's a lot of crazy anomalies and things in the world. I think maybe the biggest one is that no one has come and knocked on our door at apartment 316.
Crackles. Yeah, that is. I myself have made a lot of noise.
We just scream in there some nights and not work, which makes me think
Hello?
like every single. Makes me think that every single.
Hot or not?
Oh,
You're good.
We're good.
He's good.
Noise.
we're good.
Problem
Sweet.
fixed, I think.
Yeah. It makes me think that every single person on our floor must be doing something like super illegal.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why aren't they coming and knocking
Someone
on our
would've,
door?
surely, or the people downstairs.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
makes me, because like I've been like tapping out into wrestling moves on that floor at like 2 a.m.
And
Nothing.
Nothing.
Is it a concrete building?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
Oh.
It's pretty old.
Outside of our door, like hearing people in the hallway, you do not hear shit. Don't hear
That's where we
people
should
below
live.
us. I've never heard the neighbors in my life.
Part of me thinks we're just so loud that people are afraid.
Yeah, probably.
Oh
You
yeah,
have to
they're
cross
like, we're not
that
fucking
line.
with those guys.
Yeah,
Like we've heard them fucking power bombing someone up there. I don't want to be the next one to get power bombed.
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, new construction buildings or concrete buildings are usually
Yeah.
pretty new. Our place, I've never heard our neighbors. Like in the hallway, you can hear absolutely everything. 'Cause the doors are so
exactly.
fucking thin. But once you're in the suite, that's fine. Unless you're just fucking screaming. I was like just yelling bloody murder.
So you're recording?
Yeah, we did a couple. Like we recorded that video package. Have you seen the video package, Colin Cox?
I have not.
I put it
our
I
promo.
put it in the TR Slack. It's okay. Don't worry.
What about the Colin Cox promo?
Anyways, that was too lewd. Rated R. It was just yelling, just screaming, because like I didn't even end up using the scream takes, because like Warren and I were doing our lines or whatever, and his lines needed to be more yelly, so I sent him back to him when he was at work in the radio station, and I was like, just yell, just fucking yell, like go lock yourself in the studio and just scream them at me. And he did, and they sounded really good. I'm like, fuck, these are awesome. I'm going to do this too for my lines.
Okay.
So I'm just in the room like, like for 25 minutes straight.
Oh my
and they're like
God.
statico too because I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get that one word again. So I'm just yelling like, inaugural! Like
Sure.
15 times. And wasn't surprised that someone finally came over. Are you okay? Yeah, it's like, we just heard a lot of yelling. I want to make sure like there's no domestic abuse or anything. Like, nope. Just me and the microphone.
See, now someone's going to break into your house and try and kill you,
Yeah.
and you're going to be screaming, and she's going to be like, "Don't worry, that's
He's
normal."
just recording.
Just
Yeah.
doing a wrestling promo or whatever.
Yeah.
Just yelling the word
That's the way it
inaugural
is.
over
Nerd.
and over. Yeah, my first and only interaction with my neighbors ever since
That's
Depinder
fun.
moved out all them months ago.
Depinder.
I don't even know any of them now. I just know lady down the hall who thinks I am probably into some weird shit, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Wrestling is weird shit.
Yeah.
Making your own wrestling league with a green screen is some next level.
That was pre-green screen at least, so
Oh.
that's a whole new shame for me to live down as
Sure.
people come in. It was already a little bad because it was the VR space.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
there's no kitchen table or nothing. It's just like a grid of foam tiles.
Get over the sink.
And well, I just eat in my
With
like
a
at
green
my desk.
screen, you can eat wherever you
I'm
want,
eating in
anywhere in the world.
space.
Yeah.
But it was like it looked like cameras because you have the two lighthouses in the
Yeah,
corners.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it already, whenever the
That's some
landlady or
weird
whatever
ass.
came in, was like, "This is weird
Yeah.
shit." And like, yeah, big open space and these
Yeah.
high cameras.
You can
looking
just lay
down.
there. It's a good angle.
Nice fucking bear rug on the ground.
Right in front of the fireplace too.
Yeah, of
So I
course.
mean, it's pretty weird.
Green screen. Yeah. Green screen, a fireplace.
I could do that now. I could
That'd be nice.
Have the
Those nice
technology.
crackles.
I have a very funny. Well, I'm not even gonna say it. I have a bit that I have been wanting to do for years. That now that we have the technology with the green screen, and it involves a like green screen fireplace. Which
Nice.
It's gonna be a great winter for streaming. Can't wait. Got the green screen. Got my Christmas suit. Oh, the things I have planned. Got a beard now.
You've had that for a long time.
Yeah. Like
yeah,
2
but
years.
it's more than it's ever been. It's twice
Yeah.
as long as it was last year.
Was it actually?
Really?
Probably. Well, last year was the halfway point, so unless the rate of your... I mean, it probably does slow down because hairs are falling out or whatever, but it's probably pretty close to
If
twice.
you
can't
straighten
even
it, it's
picture
probably
you.
all the way down to here.
It's pretty straight. It's
Did
straight-ish.
you ever let it get down to like your belly button?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I want.
like a
Big old
ZZ
braid.
Top or
Invest in a beard straightener.
I'm not ready to... I don't...
I saw
No.
a guy yesterday with dreads touching his feet.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
He had
very
like
cool.
6 dreads. I was like, damn, dude.
what'd he say?
I just said, damn, dude. He's like,
Damn,
thanks.
dude.
I didn't even have to say what it was.
Working
No.
on them.
This is like,
He's probably a
thanks.
wrestler. Probably uses them in an attack.
Yeah.
Just like normal average dude, and then dreads down to his feet. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I want to let the beard... Just want to let it go. Long.
See what happens.
Gandalf long.
Do you
Yeah.
think you can get it long enough that you can wrap it around and put it on your head like a toupee?
Like it just around my head?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
That's
Settle.
what I'm waiting for.
We can even do like the two sides and kind of like tie
Yeah.
them.
Have you
in
tried
bow
that
or
yet?
Something. I
That's-
haven't
you can't
tried,
even be
but
close yet.
it's like
Nice.
yeah,
About halfway there,
up
yeah.
to the ears.
Looks like a, I don't know, what are those like? Not an Englishman mustache, but
Pervert?
just the. Sure, we'll go with that one. So that's what my
Everyone
uncle
just
was.
say the first word that comes to your mind. Oh,
You don't have to Google
mercy.
it, Bryce. It's fine.
Have y'all
Pervert?
been
Pervert mustache.
don't please don't Google that. Have y'all been into any video games
Yeah.
of late? Last couple weeks. What have you been playing?
Yeah.
Colin Kalinsky.
Fire Emblem,
Oh.
3 Houses.
Yay.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know you were into anime.
I love it.
Didn't know, well, I knew you were into anime.
Oh, okay.
We're all in anime, Matt.
Oh,
You should
shit,
join
now we
us.
Ben has into anime, sir.
Not the right anime.
Call me
though.
Yeah.
OG senpai. You guys don't even get senpai.
What if I told
Professor.
you that
Yeah.
you could play XCOM,
Okay.
but it was also Persona?
Yeah.
okay. Is
And like way more complex.
can I go on dates with ladies?
So they're your students.
Yeah.
Can I go
Don't
on
get
dates
weird.
So
with
you
my
can
students?
go for tea with them.
Oh, well, that does tea lead to intimacy?
Yes.
usually.
With- I think with
just
one
like
lady.
popularity leads to intimacy. Or how do I? Where is the fucking and how much of it is there?
Well, you're a teacher with students, so I don't think there's actually a lot of fucking.
Yeah.
What about
you can
other-
only
may or may
fuck
not
other
be the same
teachers.
age as your students, so it's kind of fuzzy there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like real life,
Yeah,
where
it's
it's frowned
little-
upon,
yeah.
Yeah, you
but
can
it
still do it.
happens.
Again, yeah, you know.
You
You
take
will
your
be on the news.
students for tea,
Okay.
and then when you take them for tea, you can like stare lovingly at their face or their chest area.
You can stare wherever
Only
you
if
want.
you
Okay.
perfect. the
Oh
tea
yeah,
time
you have to have a
experience.
perfect tea time.
Yeah.
Then you can
and
stare
so
'em
to have
down.
perfect tea time is you have 3 questions that they're gonna answer or ask about, and
Yeah.
you have to like answer them right based on their personalities.
Okay.
Wait, is it even that, or is
No,
it just
they're
like the topics
topics-
of conversation?
Yeah, topics they
You're
want
just
to
picking
talk
3
about.
topics that you know that they like, and then it's like conversation livened 3 times, and then at the time you get 3 of them, then you can start staring at their chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you like? Is there a face touching game? Are you petting anyone's face
No.
like you were in that one Fire Emblem game?
What?
What do you think this is,
Like,
Matt?
if you
That
played
was
the
a
Pokemon with the
Pokemon,
petting,
yeah.
there's a Fire Emblem game where you're touching faces.
I don't believe you.
Did you believe it? Believe this, Bryce.
Or make it.
Dear me.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. I think you'd like it. It'd be a
Yeah.
good stream game.
I did enjoy my time with Persona 4.
Sure. It's I don't know where to start talking about it. It's incredibly dense with systems.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
incredibly dense with social systems around a social hub that then leads to combat stats and perks.
They intertwined it like seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't-
Seamlessly.
Yeah,
Seamlessly.
yeah.
That's-
Without
I
seeming.
don't know.
Yeah.
Without
Oh, seamlessly.
seeming. Seamingly.
Yeah.
I get you. Without
That's
seeming,
the opposite.
it doesn't create a seam. The act of seeming,
Yeah.
2 things coming together as they seem does not.
They're
occur.
connected, but they're not connected.
I'm with you. Okay.
And that's Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Great. Are you
what
Marth?
house? What house are you? You're a Marth looking motherfucker, but you
What?
you don't have a
a
team.
reincarnation?
There's no
of-
Marth.
There's no Marth.
Oh,
You
there's
look-
no-
your-
Oh, yeah,
your
your
main character
character.
looks
It's
a little like Marth.
It's like
but-
Lucina or no Crom.
Yeah.
Crom is not Marth. He kind of is Marth or
Time travel.
something.
Marth.
He's your new main character, sword wielder, so sure
Yeah.
they're the same.
The hero.
They have
of-
blue
Yeah.
hair.
Same
Time.
style.
What else you guys in?
Black Eagles. Ow, ow. Or Ka.
Is it Golden Deer?
I'm
Yeah.
also Golden Deer.
Golden
What's the
Deer.
third one?
Heathens.
The blue,
Blue
lions,
lines.
Ooh.
which
with
I think
Dimitri.
it's safe to say are absolute bitches if none of us picked them.
Stands to reason.
Oh yeah, they're all assholes.
Yeah, so it's basically the game is you are a professor.
Okay.
You're a former mercenary.
Okay. There's Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Yes.
Right? I don't know if we said the name of the
Yes.
game
You turn into a professor.
yet. Okay.
You are allowed as the youngest professor of the 3 professors to pick which house you want to lead.
Oh, that's wow. Okay.
Yeah. And you get a very brief amount of time, basically a couple lines of dialogue with each person to kind of decide which group of kids you want to teach, and then you pick your house, and you lead them on their merry way. And they're all unique here. I think you get 10 maybe students right off the start. Every house has 10 students, maybe
8 per
9,
class.
8.
Yeah.
Because you have your house leader and you, and then I think that's
and then
10.
8. Okay, gotcha. And then 8 others. And everyone's different. Like the 8 that you get are very different personalities than the 8 in a different house or the 8 in the third house, which makes it seem like it'd be a very replayable game if you picked a different house.
Yeah.
And then you're basically divided into you have days where you explore.
Okay.
You have a calendar.
We gotta go on
You've
the
got
TV.
a calendar just like Persona.
Uh-huh.
You have days where you explore, which is basically you run around, do little quests, build social ties with people,
School days for those
Yeah,
of you in
school
Persona
days.
camp.
Lectures.
and then you have your actual school days where you profess as a
Oh, yes.
professor does.
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
Seamingly.
Seamlessly.
And that's basically kind of teaching your students kind of the goal. Your students have goals that they want to achieve. Like, I want to be a better horse rider. I want to be a better sword wielder. These are all like combat goals. And you're basically teaching them to improve those. And then you have the opportunity to change those, or they'll come to you and say, I want to learn this instead. And you're kind of making all those calls, which give them different abilities in the tactics part.
Do you get to make a lesson plan?
It's not a lesson plan. It's basically just selecting a certain amount of students, and the amount of students you can teach in one day goes up as you get more experience. And basically just teaching them like picking a skill, like horseback riding or swords, and then you teach them. And as far as I know, entirely randomly, it either says that was a perfect lesson or a great lesson or a good lesson.
Yeah.
And it gives you random amount of filling up the bar until they reach the next horse level.
So all the kids in this class are going to get horse experience or whatever today.
That's a different
no.
action.
Yes. The action is like one-on-one teaching with each student saying, you're going to get horse, and so I'm going to teach you a little bit about horses' swords. I'm going to teach you a little bit about faith and reason.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to teach you a little bit
like
about
one-on-one time with the prof.
Yeah.
This right, exactly.
God, I hated those classes.
You get one-on-one time with, like, as you have a professor level. You start at C. As like, no, D?
E?
Yeah.
I think
E?
E.
All the way down.
Might be E.
Yeah.
There's
I was an E
E
until
to
just
A and then
recently.
pluses of every letter. You can do one-on-one with more students the higher your professor level is. But essentially the one-on-one is teach them whatever skill you want to excel in that. And then your like broad lecture after will increase their goals instead, which is generally those skills as well.
Are there any classes that don't relate to... Are you ever teaching them not combat stuff, not gameplay
Everything relates to gameplay.
stuff? Okay. It's not
Yeah.
like, today we're going to learn about... We're watching Bill Nye the Science Guy because I'm hungover today or whatever. Like,
No, you get the equivalent to that is you can auto assign the class.
Yeah, if you're that lazy, you just fucking hit auto. And
That's one of the cool things about the game is you can kind of pull whatever you want out of it and then auto do whatever you don't want anything to do with. So if you want to just do the school stuff, you can kind of auto battle your way through it. I don't know how that goes as someone who's never done it. I don't know how successful that works if you just say auto do my fights for me. Or you can do the opposite where you can kind of auto teach and actually do the fighting yourself. Or you can auto everything.
Yep. Don't play the game.
Yeah.
It'll solve itself.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
will it actually...
I don't know.
I don't think
I've
it'll
not
do
tried.
well, no.
I'm in the honeymoon phase with this game where I'm doing like everything.
Yeah,
like,
we're
looking
still
at things,
there.
Every little decision is like I got to really think about this. And I've played these games enough to know that 30 hours into this, I'll be like, yeah, horses. Everyone ride horses.
a horse. You get a horse.
Yeah.
I was very much the same way with Persona, though. When you first start it, you're like, okay, this is all. I'm into all of this. And then, 100 hours of the same stuff later, you're like, okay, let's just...
yeah,
It seems long.
Yeah, I've heard it's...
I don't know how many parts there are. Do you guys know how many
I think
parts
there's
there
the two
I think there's two.
There's just 2 parts?
But
Okay.
it's
That makes me
50
feel a
to
little
70
better.
hours.
Pre-time skip and post-time skip. Those are the two
Yeah.
parts?
Sure. Yeah,
okay,
that's probably
okay.
it. Yeah, I'm really digging it. It's
You like
one of the-
anime?
I like the anime. I have a buddy who's post time skip,
Wow.
and apparently I have lots. But
Don't look at me.
you guys
wow.
are not post time
I'm
skip.
not post time.
I'm very
Oh,
close. I'm 1 month
also-
off.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that game kind of blows out in a crazy way after that happens. And well, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything that I've heard
Yeah.
in case it's a spoiler.
I'm probably gonna... Man, that sounds really interesting.
It's
It
really
is-
cool.
I liked Persona. I
a
liked
huge time
all the
sink.
things you're saying, or like the parts of Persona I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
There is being a professor for these pretty well flushed out characters. There is like when they're fighting and like killing people or like almost about to die, you're fucking invested. So you're
Especially
like,
on classic, because if they die, they die.
they're done.
Yep.
Are they fun? Are the characters good? Because
The characters are all good. Some of them are not fun.
Well,
Some
but
of them
even in
are-
like you sort of know what I mean.
Yeah,
like, are they
like, there's
compelling and enough to
yeah,
kind of like
I think
pull you
so.
through?
I'm very early in the game, but like they are very like a lot of them are very archetype. Like they're
Here's
Japanese
the flirty
archetypes.
girl
Sure.
and the one who stays
slut.
inside all the time.
Wait,
Yeah.
we can't say that.
And well, you can
The-
say whatever you want.
She
She's
knows.
a
She knows.
slut.
The
She knows what
rambunctious one.
The resay of
Sure.
Literally Dorothea.
Yeah.
Like one of the support
What?
conversations
Who's
was
Dorothea?
What?
Manuela is the
No,
thought.
okay, well she's a professor and she's super slutty. But Dorothea, like the first
Miss
support
Kasawagi?
conversation is you go up to her and she's talking to a random dude, and your first response is, "You were with another guy last night," and she's like, "So?"
Like hell yeah,
I do it.
what?
Yeah, she's like,
bam,
I
bam,
do what I
bam, high
want.
fives.
It's
Yeah,
funny
it's
when
pretty
you're
funny.
going around doing the social cues because it's the you just walk up to everyone. You can walk up to everyone every day, and they kind of have a new bit of dialogue that they say, and it's usually just some random thing like, hey, I don't. This guy is eating his food too fast, and I think it's dangerous. And then you can, it's like 2 answers where you can be like,
or ...
Yeah, exactly. And one of them always like you'll get their face will pop up with the heart, and you'll know that it's like, oh, they liked your response to that, or nothing will happen. Or apparently, as you go, you can actually have answers that make people pissed at you.
Oh yeah, you lose.
But it's funny because to that example, there was 2 guys in the dining room standing 10 feet away from each other, and one of them, I walk up to one of them, he's like, this guy's eating his food too fast, it's dangerous. And I'm like, yeah, you can't do that. And then I went over and talked to him. He's like, this guy thinks I'm eating my food too fast. And like I answered him, I was like, there ain't no such thing as eating your food too fast. And both of them are just like, thanks, Professor.
Professor Brando threads the needle.
It's very much about not what you would say, but it's like, what does this person want from me?
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
That sounds fun.
It's a lot of fun.
We got Persona 5 as a stream goal for this month, so I think I might sleep on it just to not, double dose myself with the anime.
Change your stream goals.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like once you get into it, it just sucks you in.
Yeah.
I like the boy, this is a weird dumb thing to say. I like is it goofy and zany? Like the fun thing about Persona is it is fucking insane.
Yeah.
But it is all like on the backdrop of like we're just high school students.
I very much
essentially
know
what it is.
Some of
nothing
that
about
stuff
the A-plot.
really funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of like the range of characters is kind of crazy. There's super dark characters as you go into their backstory, and then there's just funny characters and funny interactions. Like we've laughed quite a bit.
What is my son's name from Fire Emblem?
Donald.
Donald?
Is
Yeah.
Donald in there? Donald?
Donald.
the pothead.
No.
Yeah.
There's another small
no.
like ratty young village boy, and I was hoping he was like Donald too.
Is that Ignatz?
No, Cyril?
Oh.
Nobody wears
Ignatz
a pot
is my boy.
or a cauldron on their head?
No,
In
no.
this fire? What the fuck?
Cyril seems like the kind
Count
of
me
guy that
out.
would do
Yeah,
that.
he's
though,
just
yeah.
like
Count me
servant.
He's cleaning chamber pots.
Not my fire. Ew, don't put those on your head.
Picking up the dookies.
Not my Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
It's nothing that crazy.
Bring back my
Well,
boy.
the backstory's a little real. Hit you in the feels. Or make you wonder,
Yeah, it's a good story.
how is this possible?
Bring back my boy.
My boy.
It feels like there's like definitely, as someone who's only like 4 main missions or 5 main missions into the game, it seems like there's some shit going on.
Yeah.
But I know very little about what that shit is.
Usually a struggle for a kingdom, and I played Awakening all the way through. Something like the evil race of, well, not evil, but just different people clashing.
Mm-hmm.
One side thinks slavery's
You
cool
can't call
or
them
something.
evil. You just-
Yeah, I can't call them evil. They're just different.
Apparently, you don't get a lot of the main plot with Yellow House. I was talking
Yeah,
with Colin.
it's been
So-
very different.
and-
Yeah.
We have nothing in common. You're just living your life, happy, golden deer, woohoo! My house is dark. We're
So-
into real shit here.
In terms of like
Dealing with the problems.
Yeah,
in
saving
terms of like
society.
the overarching story is there's the continent is divided into like 3 almost countries.
Houses?
Not it is houses. So they're houses at the school.
Very analogous.
But the houses are all representative of empires, really, right? So one's an empire that has been there for 1,000 years. They were the first people there. It was originally an empire that spanned the whole continent, and then this kind of royal family broke free, and that's a second house. And then the Yellow Deer House, which is mine, is kind of the ragtag alliance of miscreants, which was really my cup of tea when I heard about it. But it seems like just even my like kind of tip of the iceberg with all the characters, it seems like the Yellow House is very much like, hey, it's us against the world, and we're just trying to punch above our weight class and everything, where it seems like there might be some bigger shit going on with the other 2 houses. Although my house leader seems fishy.
He's got to play
Yeah,
through.
Claude's a schemer.
Yeah, Claude's got a smile that does not reach his eyes.
Fire Emblem 3 houses.
Yes.
Yep.
And the combat's good. The combat
Combat's
is
complex.
yeah, it's very complicated.
They got rid of
but-
that weapon triangle. Fucking
Yes.
Kind
Yes.
of.
Not a fan. Yeah,
What they did.
Of.
You have specific weapons good against other weapons,
Yeah,
but
if
there's
you excel at being a sword, you'll eventually be good at dealing with axes.
That's true.
and-
You'll get
yeah.
abilities that'll.
They got rid of it initially. You have to pay for it. Put in your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
initial weapon triangle removal is nice
It
because
used-
you just did whatever you wanted.
And it used to get you into situations where you're like, well, I'm a team of sword users. Here's 4 enemies on horses. I guess I should start the game over and
Yeah, exactly.
bring some fucking pike guys next time.
Yeah.
You also have this divine pulsing that allows you to rewind turns when things get really hairy, which for me has made the thing a lot more accessible. Because I was the kind of person who usually would play until I lost a character I liked, and then be like, this game's done. I hate this game.
Are you playing Are you playing classic with permadeath?
Classic. Regular difficulty, but classic, so permadeath.
That's how we're doing it too.
Yeah. I've always
feel like you have to do classic. Can't not do classic.
Yeah, for
You
like
gotta feel it, especially if you get the 3 divine pulses per match. Like if you get fucked up after those, you deserve to get fucked up.
But like, what if I'm all the way at the end of the game and then I make one bad choice? And
Well,
it's
then
like,
just go back to your last
It's
save.
like, well, Chie died, and we're right at the end of the. Well, I'm not going to finish this game without
fucking
Chie.
save scum,
you know?
then.
Okay, yeah. I
You
suppose that's
save
always a way.
every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Save every 15 minutes.
You can still do that in classic mode.
Yeah.
Is there like a separate Iron Man mode where it doesn't let you?
I think
Do
hard mode
saves or
doesn't
whatever?
have divine pulse.
Well, that's extreme.
No, pretty sure you still do have that.
Classic hard? Oh, maybe you're limited, or everything's just harder stat wise. And
you have to actually watch what you're doing.
yeah,
And apparently because I looked into it when I was picking a difficulty just to make sure it wasn't like normal wasn't baby mode. But apparently you get less activity points. So it's a lot more making hard decisions on what to do. I feel like at this point I have time to kind of do everything I want in a day. Like there's like 3 things I do every day, and I have a minimum of 3 activity points. So I was like, I'll just go do these 3 things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we're up to 8 points now. I guess you're still at
Fuck.
7. And
Yeah,
I
so-
don't
what
know
would
what
I
to
even do with my time
anymore.
Yeah.
this is the guy who fished for half an hour.
Yeah, no, you should fish every chance you get. Buy all the lures.
Oh shit!
I
I
got
garden
in-
more than I fish.
Do both.
I guess I could because only one takes time, right?
Neither take time.
Neither take
No.
time.
And there's just free professor points. Just waste of
Yeah,
several hours of your life.
yeah.
Hot tip.
Can't stop 'em.
Hot tip.
I have not been fishing enough.
Free
Fishing.
professor points.
There's a
Super
new
fun.
game plus, so you can do it round 2.
All that PP you're just leaving on the table. Professor points.
One of my
Wasted.
students going to get the PP.
They're lucky.
Apparently, you can marry one, but it's very.
You can marry quite a few.
You can marry a lot of them.
like-
well,
it's
you
after
can't
the-
marry a lot of them at once, right?
After the time skip, though, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of
Sure.
like
You-
maybe it's
Makes
a
it
little
okay.
less.
If you look at the support levels, anyone with S, you
Okay.
can go full romance.
I heard your spouse still calls you professor, though, which is actually really
Professor.
I'm kind of.
That's my dream.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
If I can't be senpai, at least I'm professor.
I'd like my wife to call me professor, regardless of what I know educationally.
Especially if I'm not a real professor.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome home, professor.
No.
Give someone you're aiming for? The love of your life?
Hilda. The
Hilda?
lazy, pink-haired
Hilda's
girl.
awesome.
Yeah, I like her.
She's beefy.
Yeah, she's super not into anything that's going on, but she carries a real big axe, and quickly became like. I feel like it's kind of. I shouldn't say geared towards, but you kind of have a leg up with both your character and your house leader, which for me just resulted in them getting way out in front of everyone
Yep.
in terms of levels.
That's exactly
and then
what happened.
and then Hilda was kind of the leader of the pack after that, who came out and
Number one contender.
number one contender. And I was like, Hilda, you know what? I dig your attitude, not wanting every time she kills someone, she chants her own name, which is really
Yeah,
dope.
Hilda.
Really? That is pretty good.
She's always like, she doesn't give a shit about anything. She doesn't want to fight. There's one time she's like, I don't want to fight. Don't put me in the battle. And then she just slaughters people.
Yeah, and it's not like a don't put me in because I believe in peace. It is like just sheer laziness.
Oh, yeah.
If I get my clothes dirty, the boys won't look at me.
Oh, no.
And then she says, Professor, if you get your clothes dirty, the girls won't look at you. And my mind just exploded. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't be in these fights. It's a hell of a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even talking about it, I'm like, I don't want to go home and play that game.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Anime. Let's all get way into anime.
Anime with calendars. Yeah.
Time
Anime
management
calendar.
skills.
Yeah.
What else have you been up to, Colin? Anything else other than Fire Emblem 3 houses? Look at us remembering
Sexist
the name of our game.
assholes.
Yeah,
So,
I was
yes.
gonna talk about that, but
Yeah, you should talk
Oh.
about that. It's a very
Says-
important point where we're
says-
still just
All
just
right,
on the
all right.
romances.
So-
Easy segue.
we
Read
looked
these off.
we looked up the relationships
First one.
possible. As a guy,
the most important thing when you start the game.
yeah, you can romance one other man.
2.
Okay, you can get to S support with one man.
I guess yes.
And then you get to the end game, and it's a complete bait and switch. He marries a chick, and you're just friends.
Oh.
yeah.
So
It's like, I
sorry.
can't have
This
there's-
is for the gay romance.
there's
This
one-
is if you're playing as a guy.
So there's only one. What is even
Male
the word for it?
gay romance.
One non-hetero normative
as
relationship.
a male.
Yes.
Okay.
As a
If you're
female?
playing a chick,
So there's only one, but then they're actually zero.
There
because
is
you pick
actually
it and
zero.
they're
No,
like,
there's
well,
two.
fuck you.
You can have a gay romance with Lindhart, but
okay, but
the other
they
person-
both end game as
No.
0.
that one is fine.
Really?
Yeah. Get your facts right.
Okay, well, anyways,
is
if
he
you play a
the-
woman, there is like 7 possible romances.
Japan.
Yeah.
Welcome to Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, where those tropes are to us sometimes disgusting.
even like marrying one of your students after the fact.
Oh,
is
yeah, the
something
whole
where I
thing
was
is
like,
fucked up.
huh.
Yep. Oh, it's
Oh, that's weird.
there's a lot of you take the bad with the good. You
Just
know?
want
Yeah.
equal
And, like,
representation. That's
If you're in for anime, sometimes you're gonna see some of that stuff.
And learning about the time skip helped a little bit, but for me, when it like there's a girl in my class who is like described as the youngest person in the school, and she's out to prove herself, and everyone treats her like a little kid. And I was like, "You seem like you were 13. If I can romance you, this is fucked up."
That's a trope. There's always the one girl who seems way younger than she is.
Yeah. That's just one
Oh, they're
tidbit.
all tropes.
Yeah. And you're not wrong. Some of I myself get repelled by a lot of the horniness. I often don't care for. Sometimes, when done well, the horniness is fucking hilarious.
I love the horniness.
Sometimes it gets a little too.
It just can't be like. It's got to be consensual horniness.
Yeah. Sometimes,
Yeah.
like Persona 4 specifically, there is an older teacher of yours. You're a student. She's the teacher, and she is very sexually aggressive in a way that's like, this would not. You in America, you would be arrested, madam.
Oh well, that's this game.
That's Manuela
Okay.
Yeah.
to a
Okay.
T.
No.
She's
You gotta
tits
take-
out,
Yeah, you
professor.
gotta take the bad with the good a little bit.
Oh, I know.
you
It hasn't
If
started
nobody,
building
if
it
nobody
at all,
is
but-
literally falling face first into boobs, into cleavage, then you're
Master-
doing okay. You're,
The Master Roshi line.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you're doing fine.
no.
You're above the average on
They
anime.
live on a
horniness.
little island out in the ocean. It's
it's-
a whole new world.
the laws don't apply there.
Yeah.
What
Sorry.
else? Any other? What other anime you into these days?
Also,
Let's talk
while
about
we're talking
anime.
about this is a different kind of sexist thing, but apparently some of the classes are only available to girls and some of them are only available to guys. So that's something that my buddy told me that I immediately had to go and check everyone to make sure I wasn't teaching them something
Yep.
that was not going to be useful.
And apparently they're really bad about, like you say, they don't sort of tell you that.
No.
So a lot of
Nope.
people get to that and they're like, oh well,
It doesn't
I
say that
wasted
anywhere
the whole time.
It's like dark mages.
Yeah, you have to like go into the menus, and even then, I think those
It
classes
just
are
doesn't
like
appear if you can't pick it.
Right.
It's only male people, which it doesn't tell you anywhere.
and then I think
you
only
just
girls
find
can
out.
ride one of the
Pegasus.
Yeah, Pegasus, yeah.
And men ride wyverns.
No, anyone can ride ribbons.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
It's 2019
What the
now.
fuck?
Anyone.
They let women ride wyverns?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Actually, each house leader has a specific class they can be. Like Claude can be a Pegasus archer.
Oh, I know what he's
Claude or Clyde?
Claude.
Claude. CLAUDE.
He's a good man.
Yeah, he's the
Smile,
only
it
one that
doesn't
can
reach
ride a
size.
Pegasus as a dude.
I think it's a
gonna do it.
falcon.
Sure.
Oh fuck!
Spoilers.
Falcon archer.
I know what he's doing.
Do you guys know the computer company spelled ASUS? A lot of people say Asus.
Yeah.
Asus.
I've always said Asus.
Apparently, it's Asus, like it's the last part of the word Pegasus. It's Pegasus with the peg taken off. Peg.
Asus.
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 Pegasus.
Asus.
Asus.
Peg
Asus.
Assist. I read that today and it blew my fucking mind.
I would have never put that together.
Neither have I. I've been buying those computer parts for my entire life. Holy shit.
That's cool.
I don't think that's something that you like. I don't know if it would blow my mind because I don't feel like they give you enough. It's not like the miles per hour thing, where it's like, oh, I should have known.
It's true. It's a lot of people I know pronounce that name like the pronunciations on ASUS
I guess
are
yeah.
all
Just
over
that
the
the
place.
pronunciation has a hard and fast, actually what it's
Yeah.
supposed to
Like,
be.
Oh
yeah.
shit. That totally.
They also never had a Pegasus on any of their. Like, did they have a logo?
Yeah, they totally. It's like a horse's head. I never thought about it till
Oh,
now,
yeah, I
but it
never
is
read
the
that.
head of a horse.
Oh.
This is like when I realized that the New Jersey Devils NJ logo was a devil.
Devil.
Yeah.
I had the Phoenix Down. I didn't even realize it. I heard someone else realize that Phoenix Down, you know,
Yeah.
the Final Fantasy thing, like the feathers, the down from a phoenix.
Yeah.
It is not your person is down, so you have to use a Phoenix Down on them.
Yeah.
That was a real watershed moment.
The tails miles per hour thing was.
I always kind of.
I
only ever heard it. I never
like,
saw
I don't
it
think I
written.
was old when I figured it out, but when it clicked, where it's like, oh, miles per hour, because he goes fast. not miles per hour. What?
Spit
Mom!
takes all across the board.
Come look at this.
Oh, mercy. Any other video games, Colin?
I opened new Hearthstone packs, and then I haven't played the game at all. So
Opening the
that's where
packs
I'm done with
is the
that.
game.
That's
Yeah,
the most
I know.
fun part.
Open those loot boxes. Woo!
Brando, you play anything other than Fire Emblem?
I did. I played Wolfenstein, the Young
Bloods.
Blood. No, the
Young Blood.
The Young Blood.
Young
Yeah.
Bloods or Young Blood?
Young Blood.
Okay.
Even though there's two of you.
The native youth.
That's right.
How far in are you?
We are 2 actual missions in, and then we've done a few side things.
Okay.
It seems good, not great.
Yeah.
In fact, the first fight we had was incredible. Like it was some good Wolfenstein action bullshit
Like
in a way
like
where
are we talking gameplay or
we were talking
like
gameplay,
crazy cutscene?
we're talking gameplay kind of into cutscene.
Okay.
In a very seamless way where I don't want to spoil it, even though it's the very first seamless.
Seamlessly
way.
Does it involve? Is
Seamless.
that the one?
It involves a jet engine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Do you know where we are?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's like any game when you play with someone, it's tough to tell how much fun you're having because of the game and how much fun you're having because you're playing with someone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this game was going to be worse than it is.
Okay. Like with Wolfenstein, for me, it's always been a very clear divide between like the shooting is okay.
So the shooting, I feel like the gameplay is way better in this game than it is in Wolfenstein 2.
Great to hear.
They have the leveling mechanic, which is doesn't need to be in there, but is not holding you back at all. Like it does not need to be in there because it feels like as long as you're doing the missions kind of in the order they're presented to
You're the level
you are
that
always the right level. I don't know why they don't just pull that stuff
It's
up.
just a spot for them to squeeze a little microtransaction
Yeah.
out of the those of us with less time, maybe.
I think the trees are really cool, the ability trees, because you can kind of like I can say to Warren, who I'm playing with, I'm like, hey, I'm using the cloak. I'm gonna be a stealth guy, and he's like, well, I'm gonna be the guy who can fucking run into walls and break them, you can keep you can spec for it's like, well, I carry more heavy ammo, or you can carry more light ammo. Those might not be the real names, but there's basically 2 kinds of ammo, and enemies are weak to one or the other.
Okay.
So you can kind of, in a kind of Destiny way, flip back and forth while you're fighting, where you're like pulling out different guns because, oh, this guy needs this gun, this guy needs this gun. So you can expect to carry more ammo in one of those, and it would make sense for one of you guys to maybe have more of one and one maybe have more of the other. I think that stuff's really neat. I think the side missions are not interesting.
No, they seem to all be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they seem to all be literally go to a place
And push a button.
Or
Yeah.
I think there might be some that go to a place and kill a dude.
Yeah, Warren honestly usually has them done. Like I'm fighting someone out on the streets, and then Warren's like, "Hey, let's go back to the base." And I'm like, "We got what? We got to go do this." He's like, "Yeah, he did it already." And I was like, "Oh,
Thank
okay."
goodness.
I look up in the corner and the mission's gone. I'm like, "Okay, off we go."
Those seem like
They're
super.
They're not.
The
They're
very
pretty bad.
definition.
I don't know
of
why
padding.
they're in there. Yeah. And then even the like kind of going from one. So there's 3 distinct areas you can go to outside the hub world. And some of the missions are very like, and this does not take a long time. It's not inconvenient, but it's just weird where it's like, okay, you're going to go here. You're going to push the button here. And then you're going to go here and kill this guy here. And I'm like, you should just put these 2 things in the same place. Like it is not adding a lot to go down and go to this second place. So
does it feel like a lot of the stuff we brought up has kind of been followed by like, I don't even know why that's in there. Does it feel like padding? Like my big thing worrying the reason the leveling turned me off it so hard was like, oh, I see. Okay, leveling. They have these microtransactions where you can just buy better weapons or whatever you want, levels if you want.
I haven't even noticed the microtransaction stuff, so they're not hitting us in the face with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of hitting you in the face though, it did make us make a Bethesda account to sign in.
I think they're maybe rolling or like getting away from that or trying.
Maybe I did it because I was like, whatever, I don't care. But it was super seamless.
Seamlessly.
We didn't run the story last week, but I guess Doom 1 and 2, Doom 1, 2, 3, I think came out on the Switch. And for
Cool.
Doom 1 and 2, you have to make and or you have to sign into a Bethesda.net account, which is fucking ridiculous.
Are those games online?
No.
That's weird. Then.
But
'Cause
you
the
still
only-
do.
The only reason I gave this a pass was because I was like, well, it's not the first game to make you have an account for online play, which me and Warren are technically playing online.
Maybe for the Buddy Pass system
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, there was a big thing with the Doom things. And I know they're supposed to be taking it out of Doom, I think, because they're like, yeah, hey, wait, this is fucked up. You guys are right.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it was just a part of that, of like, just everything you play from us from now on, you have to log into your... It's like a new... I mean, it is a store.
Everyone has a thing.
It is a store. There is a Bethesda.net launcher, which is a storefront.
Sure. I can't remember what I was talking about before. Oh, the microtransactions don't seem to be a big deal. In terms of, it's tough to say because we're only a certain, like, we're not super far in.
Yeah.
But right now it feels like we're doing the side missions and it kind of feels like it's over leveling us. So you might not have to do. At the same time,
so weird.
So we finished the kind of not tutorial, but maybe the first big level. And it gave us 3 missions that seemed like they might be the end game missions, and they had skulls in front of them, basically saying you can't do these. So then we started
elite
doing
level enemy or whatever.
So then we started doing some side stuff, and all of a sudden the skulls went away very quickly. So either this game is not. If this game is as short as it seems like it could be, it's super weird that they did some of this open world stuff.
You know, you can charge a lot more for a, quote, 30-hour game than you can for a 5-hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know if this feels like padding, though.
I mean, those the
here's
side
the thing.
quests to me
Here's the
seem
thing.
so
Wolfenstein 2
absolutely throwaway.
feels like a 5 or 6 hour game.
Totally.
They charged a lot more for that than they charged for this 50-hour game. So I'm not sure what their whole end game plan is.
Yeah. I would say to that, you do make it up in the production value a little. Like the cutscenes
Sure,
and the
but
story
it is only
pieces.
it is a short game.
Yeah, it's not quite
So,
5 to 6. It's a little bit
longer.
It's a little
than that,
undersell, but yeah, it is very short. It just doesn't.
And I think it was you telling me or maybe I heard it on a different podcast that I'm pretty sure it was you last podcast that was saying that this game is not long.
It's, from what I've heard, not long. Probably the same podcast you listened to where they talked about how long it took them.
So my sources are not working independently of each other. So I don't know then. They're not padding it out if it's not a long game. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they're padding out a 3-hour game into a 7-hour game, but
yeah,
it's tough to say without seeing the finish line.
Yeah, I look, or maybe look forward is the wrong way to say it, but interested to hear how it kind of reviews once you're all done.
We
look back on it as a whole.
We loved that first boss fight. The way it was very, you fought, and then there was obviously some behind the curtain choreographing to get the bad guy to where he needed to be for the big dumb action moment at the end, where as soon as it happened, we were all like, oh, that's why he walked over there.
It's fucking real long, slow.
And the difficulty's been like right where honestly, the game seems easier probably because of the revive ability. Seems easier than a Wolfenstein on normal.
Yeah, the shooting sounds better, which is good because Wolfenstein shooting has not been the strong point.
Yeah. I even just the little thing about switching your ammo up depending on who you're fighting, combined with how fast Wolfenstein moves, is very like you shoot this guy, and then quickly pull out another gun and run and jump. The jumping mobility's way better than it is in the other Wolfensteins. You have a double jump. It's 1980, baby.
Okay.
You're still killing Nazis. It still feels good on a fundamental moral level.
Hitler's dead. What the fuck happened?
Can I spoil something for you guys that the game spoiled for me less than an hour in?
Sure.
I won't.
Does that
play
count
it,
as a spoiler?
so
No, that's
go
fine.
Will
on.
you
really.
play any Wolfenstein?
No.
Yeah.
Will you play Wolfenstein 3?
I think it's a fake out.
Probably
I think it's a
not.
fake out
Spoiler
too.
that you're going to say,
You
but
know the spoiler then?
maybe if you're going to say what I think you are.
Okay, well, if you... I don't know, go on this journey with me or fast forward for 2 minutes. Apparently, they're saying on the radio that B.J. Blazkowicz is missing the man famous for killing Hitler.
Yeah.
So somewhere in that gap,
Yeah,
He-
game
he
opens. Hitler's
killed
been
Hitler.
dead for like 20 years or whatever, which seems fucking crazy because
Mecha Hitlers.
Yeah.
There could be any sort of Hitler that might still exist.
famously in Wolfenstein, you always end by killing Mecha Hitler, which is Hitler's head in a jar on this giant fucking 2 machine gunned mech. So yeah, to think that the Führer is still out there. Of course he is.
That they're telling in Wolfenstein 1, between the boss of Wolfenstein 1 and kind of the technological advances that they revealed in Wolfenstein 2, that seems to be exactly where the big arrow's pointed.
Yeah,
in
and
terms of a final boss.
we've seen decapitated fucking heads get reanimated plenty in Wolfenstein already.
Everyone needs to play Wolfenstein 2.
It's so good.
It's unbelievable.
There's so many parts I always forget, and when you come back, you're like, oh, the fucking the acting scene is so fucking.
It's so good.
He's like trying to. There's supposed to all be these like horrible lines. One of them is like, "I will like," because he's the terrorist of Germany or whatever. He's like, "I will murder and rape you" or whatever is the real line. But you can like fuck up the lines as you're trying to remember because they're all
like,
smudged on your hand. Like, "I will batter and bake you." Like some of them are so fucking good.
Yeah. It's great, and it's why I don't know why we're talking about this Wolfenstein 2 now.
Because it's one of the greatest
fantastic
games.
But it's all shot so cinematically in a way that it's like you're playing a movie.
Y'all should play Wolfenstein
Yeah.
too. It's so fucking good. So good.
And it's not long.
It's not very long. Play it on easy.
Play it on easy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's a little up its own ass about the difficulty.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
You play anything else?
No, never got back to Stranger Things.
No?
I'm not
It's
sure.
more of
I don't
a-
want to speak on behalf of Worm, but I feel like we're not going to get to it until after Wolfenstein now. so-
More of a we got nothing else going
Yeah,
on.
exactly. We're going to jump into Gears 4 soon, so.
Oh yeah, that new one's coming out soon too. Shit.
And then a lot of Apex, but.
Yeah. Same as usual. Business as.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish I'm so far ahead on the battle pass where I was with season 1 because of the challenges that I'm looking forward to maxing it out, and then not playing Apex until season 3 comes out.
That's kind of weird, but
it's like it's fun. The journey is still fun.
That's right.
But it's kind of like it's even like the exact same feeling comes by week to week, where it's like I got all my weekly challenges done by Thursday, and the resets on Tuesday. I got them all done by Thursday. I'm gonna take a big Apex break.
yeah, it's fun to feel like you got the work done.
Right. It feels like you're doing fun chores.
They're not really
slightly fun.
chores,
Right.
but
Bryce, what about you?
Yeah, I have too many video games. I have other video games I want to play.
Too many video games?
Too many video
what?
games.
Name 10.
No, just Fire Emblem Heroes is taking too much time.
I see. I'm sure it'll be done soon.
Playing some TFT every now and again, though. Team Fight Tactics.
Oh, yes, the League of Legends auto battler.
Yes.
you got to try it again.
How is it?
It's great.
It's good.
It's a lot of RNG, which really frustrates me. But
I've found
most games are good.
I've found my. I'm an Underlords man.
Okay.
Least RNG between the main three between auto chess, TFT, and
Auto chess is dead. No one plays
Does no one play auto chess?
Nope.
That's too bad. But yeah, I'm an Underlords man.
Fair.
I play a lot of it.
I'll
now.
convert you.
Nah.
I don't like the
Stick with what you
I
know.
don't like the variants, and I don't know any of like
That takes like 10 games to learn.
No, fuck that. TFT, you have to know the heroes because there's a part where, unless they've changed it, a part where you're just looking at them all in a circle and you're like, well, I have
Yes,
to
that's
know
true,
who
yeah.
this hero is and what their abilities are. Fuck that. I'm not. You have to know League of Legends to play TFT way more than you have to know Dota to play Underlords. Way more.
I feel like I could shift Underlords in within 20 games.
Oh,
Maybe
I
even
could.
10 games.
I
Have a
could.
good, decent grasp of what everyone did at least.
I'm sure I could do League in a few games
Yeah.
because I used to play League, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But
Don't want to put in the time.
Yeah, no. Underlords is mine. Like I know the pace of an Underlords game now.
Yeah.
I know that you need to be 8 by round 21. I know that I'm around 22. You spin down or you keep
Yeah.
your economy. Like I know how to play some okay Underlords now.
That's a good feeling.
I'm
getting there with TFT.
God. It makes me crazy in a way, just like poker did, where it's like I'm the unluckiest person in the world.
Yeah.
It's so easy to tilt just due to RNG, and then sometimes you just win 12 games in a row, and you're like, wow, I'm
I'm the
boy,
luckiest.
I'm the greatest player in the universe. This game's easy.
Y'all idiots.
It's so fun.
It is good.
Scratches all the itches. Gambling, board
Sometimes
game,
it's just too
Yeah.
random.
competitiveness.
For the listeners at home, Matt was scratching his chest while he said that.
Yeah.
He scratches those
Scratch
itches.
everything.
There's some gambling here. I know there is.
And Hades Tier 4 came out. Woo!
The big bad
The
update.
big bad update.
I just read the headline and told you everything I know about
Yeah, pretty much.
Hades.
You can now escape Hades, and you can pet the dog.
Oh, thank God.
Because if
If you're in hell, you should not be able to pet the dog.
no, and
He's your bestest bud.
It's because they went up on the Can You Pet the Dog Twitter, and it was like, you cannot pet the dog in Hades. So of course they patched it so you can. No thanks. Fuck that. That's just changing the Mass Effect ending, but for dogs. I'm not about that. I'm not about that.
The game's not even out yet. They can change whatever the hell they want.
You can pet the cat.
There's no cat.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Is it ever coming out?
Probably. Soon.
How long has it been in early access? It's got to be almost
probably over a year now.
Yeah. Is it over a year? Coming up on
It's
a year.
close. Super close.
I feel like I ask this every time we talk about it. Did they say when it comes out it's going to come on consoles?
Yeah, every other Supergiant game is already on the Switch, and I imagine it'll go there.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's where I should play.
Can't see why they wouldn't.
Good. That's
Yep,
what I want to play.
it'll go there for sure.
When it's done.
Yeah, when
As
it's
I
done.
do.
Yeah, they wouldn't do early access there. They've
Can
done-
you even do early access on Switch?
Yep, they did with Dead Cells, and it sucked. Everything was 3 months behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently Wolfenstein 2 is really bad on...
Yeah.
Yes.
Wolfenstein 2 is really bad on the Switch.
Apparently there's a whole lot of games that are really bad on the
Youngblood,
Switch.
Yeah.
Bloodstained is apparently still hilariously terrible on the Switch.
When we get Switch Pro Plus Ultra, it's going to be great.
Finally.
It's like 2 revisions down the line.
Yep.
You play anything else?
No, I have not.
I'm just burning to tell you about the Sinking City,
Tell
which
me
I
about
don't know if
Sinking
I've
City.
talked about
I'm
on this
excited.
podcast. Finished it. It's a bad game.
Oh.
It is there are very, very few redeeming qualities about that game. It has really good CG cutscenes. It has like 2 or 3 where you can tell they like really spent a lot of money. And those are the ones you see in the trailer.
Oh, of course.
Which is why everyone thinks that game, thinks it is the greatest looking game of all time. And then when they maybe jump on your stream and see you playing it, they're like, why do you have the graphics turned all the way off? I'm like, this is just how it looks. This is the fucking game, bud. Yeah, it is. So finished it. It's about, I'd say maybe 10 or 11 hours long. Didn't do a single side quest.
Oh.
It has an open
That's
world.
where all the good stuff is.
I'm a liar. Did one single side quest. Did one to see what they were. They were go to a place and shoot a man. Shoot a monster, which is God. The combat in that game is so it
looked bad.
It is such a confusing game. Like it is full price. It is $60 or $70 if you're in Canada. It feels like they made a super short, very narrow scope, kind of like you're going to like a Sherlock Holmes game, which they are. That is what these folks have made. I'm totally forgetting the name of the studio now, but they do make the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective video games. It feels like they made one of those in Lovecraft, and then we're like, well, we can't charge $60 for this. What if it had combat? And then they put in some enemies. There are like 4 archetypal enemies, and you have like 3 or 4 different weapons, which might as well just be the same weapon because they're just guns that shoot. And like enemies don't react to your gunfire; they just kind of seem to take damage, and then eventually they just
Collapse.
disappear. It's really, the combat is really fucking bad. Like it is something you totally suffer, and it makes no sense as to why it's in there. None of the quests involve it. It is only like as you're traversing the open world, which fucking sucks. Like has fast travel built around, but in a way that the place you're going to the most, the newspaper, because you're like checking their archives for clues or whatever. You go to the fast travel point, and then you have to walk around 3 sides of a block. You have to do 3 right turns. Because there's a fucking because there's just a wall in the middle of the street for no reason. Like it serves no fucking gameplay purpose, nothing. It is weirdly racist in the way that those stories were, but it does nothing with them. It just feels like an excuse to use their made up slurs, which is odd. And then the ending is there is no ending. Surprise, there is no ending. So
City doesn't sink?
Nope. They kind of set it up where as you're going through, you can choose to basically end the cycle, which is like let the dark gods out who are going to end humanity.
Is this spoilers?
Not really. Like
Okay.
you're kind of
like
building to
typical
it the whole
Lovecraft
kind of
stuff.
time.
Gotcha. Okay.
But they set you up for 2 main endings, which is like let the dark gods out, don't let the dark gods out. I won't say which I picked, but I chose my ending, and there was a cutscene of my character walking to like the location, the special place with a special item to do the ritual, whatever ending. And then the
Sounds
credits
like you
roll.
let the gods out.
I did. That was the ending I chose. And then the credits just roll. It's just credits. Maybe I guess like there's a certain angle where you're like, well, that's because the world ended, man. It's so artsy, but like it just feels it's just unfinished. It's just an unfinished game that just technically ends, but it is bad. Like it is.
Who let the gods out?
Who?
He did. What's his name? Your name?
I don't even
Do you have a
remember. I don't even. Yeah, he does. I don't even remember Charles because he hates being called Charlie. I don't remember his last name.
I remember the day it came out. I hadn't heard anything about it. It was just any time a game, like the day it comes out on Twitch, you'll see it's usually the top game being played. I forget who was playing it, but they were running away from some kind of crab facehugger thing. He didn't have any ammo, so he was running around a desk trying to place a trap.
It's about right.
Would get maybe half a second away from actually placing the trap, get hit, cancel, run around in a circle.
The joke is that traps in that game are like literally unplaceable. You can't place them in. It takes so long to put them down that you get hit before you put them down. I'm pretty sure they're just bugged and unusable. It's a bad game.
I watched
top to bottom
about a minute
video
of that.
game. There's no it seems like the writing is purposely vague and very mysterious. And you're like, wow, this is some real Lovecraft. Like I can't understand the machinations of these grand gods. But then you kind of realize that actually it's just bad writing. They just didn't put any connective tissue in. Things just happen because they happen in the story. Where at some point they're just like, oh, this fucking magical sorcerer, he's got an artifact that's been doing this thing that you need to find. We don't know where he came from or why he's here, but he's here now.
Sounds like a plot of Tomb Raider.
We deal with that, please. Oh, there's a vampire. There's
the newest one?
It's not Tomb Raider anymore. Yeah.
There's a part where a vampire just shows up, and you're like, what the fuck? A vampire shows up and wants to team up with you, and you're like, what? I don't. Okay. This is completely out of nowhere.
Okay.
That sounds all right.
Yeah, I betrayed her before she betrayed me.
Ooh, good choice.
Almost said she fucking sucks.
Was the idea.
That would have been spot on.
I had to bite my tongue. Yeah, and also they are presenting you with choices throughout the entire game, which turn out to be non-choices, and you are like they present that immediately. Well, no one remembers them, but even more so, you make the choice, and then if you make the wrong choice, quote unquote, it just makes you make the right choice.
Oh, good.
Like, do you want to shoot this guy or save this guy? I choose shoot him, and your character's like, well, I think I'll just save him this time, or whatever, and puts his gun away. And you're like, no, I chose shoot, but why even give me the choice? It's a bad game. I can't say anything good about it. It has two really, really nice CG cutscenes that they spent a lot of money on and used for their trailer. The game does not look like the trailer looks. It's
a scam.
It is bad. And on the Steam page, it compares itself to The Witcher, which is the fucking not the Steam page. The what's the one everyone hates? The Epic Game Store page. It compares itself an open world, yada yada yada, like your favorite games, The Witcher. And it's just like, oh god.
I mean, you got to. You're selling.
I suppose. Yeah. Technically, it has an open world. I guess it's
marketing doesn't believe in setting the bar low.
I suppose it's a very, very bad game.
What'd you guys name your Fire Emblem guy?
He went with default.
Yeah.
Byleth. That's what I did too.
I went with Colm because he's my favorite rogue or thief.
Colm? Like O'Driscoll?
No. Fire Emblem, one of the earlier Game Boy Advance ones. I think something swords. I don't remember the name.
Radiant.
Anyways, there was a thief assassin named Colm.
O'Driscoll.
Yes, I know him. I was Colming way before Red Dead.
Before O'Driscoll came along.
A real piece of shit. Well, that's all the games I played. Oh, I also played GTA Online that I totally forgot to talk about last week. I tried the casino stuff. I think I said this on the show. Tried the casino stuff.
I feel like you just brought your show notes from last week.
Did.
Maybe. I remembered that we forgot to talk about everything last week. The casino games are just like in Red Dead 2 Online. Like, they're interesting, but they are way too slow to be practical. Of like, you want to play the slot machine, it's like a spin a minute.
Holy shit, playing dominoes.
And then fucking just hang out. You want to play blackjack? You can, but every player has 60 seconds to decide their turn. So it's like, hit. All right, 19, I'm good. Waiting for the next guy. 60 seconds later. Oh, he's going to stand on that 20. Okay, great.
Always hit on a 19.
Oh, you cowards. Hit on your 19s, cowards. We'll go for a quick break. Come back here, do the news. All that jazz. See you on the other side of this musical break.
You should play Fire Emblem.
It's really
play Persona.
Yeah. Take your time getting into it. It's a hefty one.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as hefty as Persona.
Eventually.
Or not even part 2. And I am at 27 hours.
Holy fuck. I'm at 23 hours? Well, I guess if you
How
combine
long
it
is
with...
part 1? How many months? Do you know?
Do you want to know?
Do I want to know?
It's a
you
year.
can pace yourself.
I only want to know.
It doesn't
to kind of figure out where I am,
it doesn't spoil the thing. It's time skips at month 3.
Yeah, you spend a year at the school.
Once you roll over to 3.
Because you started in April.
So month 2 is the last one. You'll get to do a full month.
Sure, gotcha.
I am in month 2, so
The end is nigh.
Like February or whatever. Because don't you start at like... You don't start at 1, do you?
I think it's April.
Yeah, you start April.
Start at
Because I
4,
thought
yeah.
I thought you started right after you chose your birthday, which was I thought was
Yeah,
just
which should make
convenient.
sense because I did September.
Yeah.
I also, my birthday is March 23rd, so when I
Yeah.
put that in, I was like, oh, maybe that's just, they just
Yeah.
saw you at the beginning of the
Yeah.
first
You
month
just
after
cycle
that.
a year regardless of your birthday or something.
Did the lady say that you had the same birthday as her?
Yeah, they did that
Fucking
right soon.
liar.
Like every
Nice.
single person.
don't
When
even
I
have
saw
a
that the first time, I'm
birthday.
like, holy shit, what a
I
coincidence.
thought I was special. That always
Yeah.
means so much to me when that happens with a real
Thought it was
person.
the only one.
I'll take this mic up. Sure.
Mm-hmm. It's sweet though. I'm trying to recruit everyone to my house. I'm missing
Can you,
4.
can you recruit like the whole school?
Everyone.
2 completely empty houses
Yeah.
and yours.
You can recruit everyone except for the main house leader and their bodyguard.
Right, yeah.
So,
Because
yeah.
I noticed I couldn't even...
You can't even give them gifts or
you
anything.
can barely do anything.
They
to
just
them.
sass you and
Who
stop
is
talking.
Does Claude have a bodyguard?
Claude
needs
yes.
no bodyguard.
Isn't it Hilda? Yeah, Hilda's
It
the
might
body-
be, yeah. I don't think you can really tell from the house that you're... I mean, you probably can because it's very obvious.
Yes, it is
It
the-
seems very obvious for actually both the houses except for...
It's the
Yellow
tall
Deer.
douchebag who's yeah. Dedu and I don't remember mine.
Dedu seems alright.
He seems like Wang.
Dedu?
Dedu.
Yeah, he's like the...
D-U-D-U?
Toss a U in there.
Doo-doo.
Dedu.
Like Witcher? Because in Witcher, it's just doo-doo.
No.
Is it doo-doo?
Maybe.
He seems very... No, I think it's Dedu. I can't remember how it's spelled, though.
Hubert. That's mine.
Yes,
this-
he's a vampire-looking motherfucker.
Yes.
Oh, Zero's been down here for like a
It's
month.
like,
He's
how are you
probably
a
still
student?
fine.
You
He's
look
probably
like you're
still fine.
40.
Is he a vampire?
No.
Are
Okay.
there vampires in Fire Emblem?
Probably.
There's something that they said right at the beginning where it's like something about his cold-blooded. If you think he seems a little cold-blooded, you're right. And I'm like, well, he's a vampire.
He's a vampire. Doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
Lorenz is a real bitch.
Friends.
I think my goal is to make
Yeah.
up a word every podcast.
Seamlessly.
Like, it kind of sounds like words.
I
It's so
totally
close.
understood where you were coming from,
Yeah.
too,
Yeah,
immediately.
like seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two things are coming
They're
together.
seamless.
They're seaming.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we read this top story at the top or the bottom?
Always lead with your best.
Well, it's not my best. I don't think it's anybody's
Always
best.
lead
but-
with your most important.
So, Pokemon.
All right, top story of today. That's right, it's Galarian Bong Weezing.
Breaking news.
I do have. I don't know if you can see this on the. I did put a picture of my son, Galarian Weezing, on the old show notes
Not
today.
me.
Your boy.
Yeah,
I
man.
like that they have that, like the. Okay, so here's my thoughts on this.
Okay,
There's always been it's the same thing with Hufflepuff and Harry Potter. There's always been kind of the association where it's like, yeah, Weezing's the weed smoker's Pokemon.
yeah.
Oddish?
It's Oddish also.
Like Brock should have had a Weezing.
yeah, Brock should have had a Weezing is what everyone
Like,
says.
hey, guy.
And then I feel like Japan, being Japan, might have come out with this and still have no idea about the
No, not at
implications.
all.
of
No,
it.
I don't think the weed culture in Japan is quite there. So for context, I guess the new region of these Pokemon games must be called Galar or Galar. I don't know how to pronounce it. But just like the I think it was Sun and Moon.
Could also be Galari or Galaria.
If it was Galaria, would it be Galarian? Yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah. Anyways, they released a picture of their new Weezing, who has like two. So they're supposed to be smokestacks. I understand what they're going for. They're like top hat, but like
Right.
smokestacks because
Yeah.
he's a Weezing.
Right. It makes sense. Pollution.
Pollution.
They're trying to imply
Yeah.
pollution.
Exactly, and he's got like a classy mustache now made out of smoke, which is real dope.
Yes. These are proper gentlemen of industry.
That's right.
Yes.
So the whole weed thing aside, still fucking ultra dope.
Right.
Also, he looks like a bong.
He looks exactly like a
He
bong.
looks exactly like smoke coming out of
Smoke
one
that
side,
Weezing.
and he looks like a bong.
And it's amazing that we had this pre-weed thing, and it's turned into this more weed thing, and the creators and designers might have no idea.
Oh, this is a very nice Weezing. He's
Yeah.
very professional now.
You already know that'll be a bong.
That'll be a bong.
Someone's
We're gonna make
put
that
the,
bong.
Yeah, the
will.
mouth.
This will be
on
the
his
first
mouth and
piece of Pokemon.
glass.
Well, the first
Where?
like piece of Pokemon paraphernalia,
Yeah.
let alone weed Pokemon paraphernalia
Yeah.
I have bought in for years. He's real dope. Okay, the real story that I was.
Quite literally.
Yeah. The real story I was hemming and hawing over first or last. Boy. So last
Where to
weekend.
even
Where to
begin?
begin? Last weekend there were 2 shootings in the States. Thoughts and prayers to those affected, obviously. As a result of that, President Trump, of course, in all his wisdom, came out and blamed violent video games because he's the only one who sees the truth.
Yep.
In spite of all
Smart
of this
man.
research we've had over the last however many years
Yep.
of no, video games do not, in fact, cause violence, yada, yada, yada. Walmart, not Canadian, not our good friends Canadian Walmart who tell us when the video games are coming.
That's right.
American Walmart.
Shitty Walmart.
Yeah. They are removing violent video game signage. I guess this goes to movies as well. All violent signage. So things like
Is it violent signage or any signage of violent video games?
any signage of violent
'Kay.
video games.
Gotcha.
So
I was going to say, I don't really recall violent signage anywhere. But
images of like Mortal Kombat can no longer be allowed. Any
Call of Duty.
Pretty much literally every single video game.
Yes. There are no nice ones anymore.
That's
No.
right. You can still buy guns at Walmart. I mean, if I were an American citizen, I could walk into Walmart, buy myself a shotgun. Could probably buy myself the ammo.
Makes sense.
Probably in the Walmart as well.
Yep.
Just put it in your pocket and
one-stop
walk out
shop.
the door.
Presumably could load that shotgun in the parking lot if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have violent video game signs.
Yeah, thank
so
God.
Thank
at
goodness.
least we have that. We're doing okay.
That's right.
So they have the official statement is they are pulling them, quote, out of respect, which is the out of respect is the new like we need to.
Do we need a reason?
Well, yes, we are. We're gonna tell scared white nationalists that we're doing something out
Yeah.
of respect.
Yeah.
ESPN and ABC Sports, they have also decided not to delay an Apex Legends tournament again, quote, out of respect. And that's that. I don't have a ton to say on it. I'm sure you at home and all of us in this room probably share a very similar sentiment as to all this dumb fucking shit that goes on
So this seems like a very ass backwards country.
over and over. The 252nd lethal shooting of the year
Wow.
in
damn.
America.
Wow.
But I mean,
In
you know.
a globe of which almost all have video games,
Yep.
Yep.
and none have more than what, 2 mass shootings in the last.
There is a
Very long time?
There is a fascinating chart out there that shows like capita spent on video games per person versus gun violence. And like Brando says, yes, Japan. There are many nations outspend America in video games. Very few. In fact, only 9 in the world, maybe 10 in the world, I believe. And most of those are third world countries, like you would expect to have a lot of gun violence in their revolutions and things. Beat the states out for it. But at least we got the violent video game signs down, so that's good. Everything's going great over there.
That was the tipping point.
It's
The world is fixed.
what do we even say? What do we, like?
Walmart is fixed
what
to the
do-
world.
What do you even do? You know, we could talk ourselves hoarse about this.
Yeah.
literally
that's why
every
I don't
single
even
week.
want to talk.
Literally
about
every
it.
single week, and we never bring up these shootings. But again, video games was directly called out. We're a video game podcast. Is
Yeah.
how we're here. Get out there and vote if you live in America. Do something. The answer is holy shit. Also, so many hate tweets and things about like it's just fear propaganda. Don't watch the news, man. They're getting to the 252 shootings in a year. Ain't propaganda,
That's
brothers
it's a
and
fact.
sisters. Like, god damn it, it's completely insufferable. Where the other side of this argument is not another side to this argument.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some video games again.
Let's go back to Bong Weezing.
Let's go back to
Yeah.
Bong Weezing.
Nicer
Fuck, remember how
times.
happy we were when we were just hanging out with our friend Bong Weezing in the park? also, Weezing is just a great name for a bong.
Yeah.
Please make it.
The whole thing.
I would love to sponsor. Can I?
You already know
Glassware,
it's getting
sponsor
made.
me.
It's already getting made.
I will hawk the Weezing bong. I will hawk Bong Weezing bong on my stream.
I know what I'm going as for Halloween.
Nice.
I like to think if you look at that, the perspective of the one Weezing's arm being behind the girl, he is fucking massive.
Oh yeah, Weezing's a
I
big boy.
see it now.
Yeah, Weezing's a big boy.
No, I don't think he actually is a big
No,
boy.
I
He
know
could
he's
be
not.
No.
ultra sized
I think
right
Weezing
now.
is supposed to be.
Yeah.
If it check the Pokedex, I bet Weezing is supposed to be pretty big.
Yeah,
Not
but
that big.
But we're
Like-
looking at the picture where it looks like that little side of him is his arm going around her.
Yeah.
He
And
did.
he
I
all of a
see,
sudden
I
looks
see.
incredibly massive.
Yeah, no, this is just a real close-up shot.
He could be dynasized, yo.
I don't think
he
you can
dinosaurs?
still do that. Can you? I think that's out. I don't think you have
No,
big Pokemon anymore.
the gang signs turning into power-ups is out.
Oh,
I don't know.
That was a dance. It was a whole dance. I
thought
think.
you could
It's like
still
the
supersize
fucking
them.
Trunks, fucking arms flailing everywhere.
Fucking gang sign.
Yeah.
It always ends in a triangle, I think, right? Trunks is those.
Yeah.
Listen, no matter how dark it gets, at least Bong Weezing is always there to bring
That's
us
right.
back up. Publishers have started to agree to disclose some loot box odds starting next year.
See, since Bong Weezing, all this news has gone up.
That's right. They took a puff with Bong Weezing and a whole. So it started with, I believe it was Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard, and Bandai Namco. I don't know if they got together or what happened, but they said, you know what? In 2020, we're going to get ahead of this legalization on these loot boxes, which I'm sure is coming in some form.
Yeah.
And we're just going to disclose our odds. We're just going to tell folks the odds to all our loot boxes, to our prize packs, to the way they make it sound is anything you can get in game that will have random items, they will disclose the odds.
Yeah. And you have to do that as a, like, once the big names are doing it like that, I feel anyone who has loot boxes of any form, you
Totally.
have to do that.
Yes, it's a mighty conglomerate of names.
Worth mentioning,
At
these are
least.
all ESA members, so this may have come through the ESA, which is a lobbyist group. Keep that in mind. But joining them, so the entire list, I guess, starting 2020, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Bungie, EA, Take-Two, Warner Brothers, Epic, Psyonix, Wizards of the Coast will all start disclosing drop rates. I wonder if that includes physical Magic packs. Surely not.
No.
Well, they already do
Wizards.
disclose the odds for those. And a lot of these. Like, is this news? I swear I don't open loot box without seeing the odds right next to it. Very.
Oh, this is definitely news.
Oh, in
I don't
video
know.
games? Yeah, you don't see
Yeah,
that.
like
in every
some-
game I play with loot boxes, I have
Some
seen
some
them.
games are nice enough to be like, hey, you got a 2% chance of a legendary, 5%
Yeah.
chance of whatever.
like Overwatch doesn't do it. Rocket League doesn't do it.
Wizards
and
doesn't do it, but people have kind of tried to infer what the odds are.
I guess.
Of like, oh, and about every 1 in 30
I mean,
packs.
if you poll a
gotta-
billion people or a billion transactions,
that's
you
how
could
Wizards
come
of the
up,
Coast
Yeah.
kind of tries to do it. Or that's how Magic players try to do it. Psyonix doesn't, do they? Rocket League? No.
No, Rocket League doesn't
Yeah.
disclose.
Fortnite does not. The big one was Epic.
I think
and Fortnite is going to start doing this.
So I don't think Apex does, but Apex has a thing that is more like guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get one of these if you buy the 10-pack.
Yeah.
Buy 10 packs. We'll make sure one of those packs got a gold.
Best value. In 2020,
No, that-
Apex will...
100 packs is the best value.
Apex should start to disclose that. Oh, excuse me. A little burp there.
It's interesting because as someone who's not super into loot boxes, I don't actually really care. But I feel like this is something that should be like you're not saying what you're gonna get.
Galarian Weezing is apparently 3 meters tall. Sorry to derail whatever the fuck you just said, but that motherfucker is 3 meters tall. 15 feet tall is how big he is.
I feel like
that's
Yeah,
what I
this
said
looks-
was right then.
Yeah, I still say like 3 meters is big. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
especially with
so
the smokestack.
If this girl is 5 feet tall, Weezing is 3 times as tall as that girl. That's probably exactly to scale.
So is that girl not standing behind him?
It's all
No.
smokestack.
She's standing right
She's
beside
actually
him.
probably in front of
standing
his
right
arm.
beside him. Yeah,
It's probably 2 meters of
That's
smokestack.
terrifying.
you're right.
Then.
Someone on our chat also brings out it's all pipe height. So that would not be a
Regular
great
Weezing
Yeah.
size
That's a good
is
point.
1.2 meters.
And then,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
and
he
he
gets-
doubles in height when
Yeah,
he gets
it's
his
more than
size.
triple times his height with the stack.
So he doubles in height. Yeah, holy fuck.
Wait, so the picture cuts off and it's like double that length?
Yeah,
He's a
that'd be
big
funny
boy.
if this
Cool.
actually goes to the top of the paper. If the picture had
Okay, sorry, sorry, that blew
No,
my
that's-
mind. I
that's
had
very important
the
news.
real news. We had to get.
yes, the breaking news story continues to develop. Yeah, as someone who doesn't get really into loot boxes, I don't care what the odds are.
Yeah.
I just get them when I get them, and when I get them, I'm excited.
Honestly, probably nobody cares what the odds are,
Right.
but like the legislators care
Right.
what the odds are.
Exactly.
The end user probably doesn't give a
And
shit.
I think it's fine. Like I don't think that's hurts your company at all to give the odds, because you're not saying, well, it's a 2% chance of getting this item. It's 2% chance of getting something really good.
It might hurt you a little bit if like
I guess
to
if
get a
people-
legendary, it's like .00001.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
you're like,
But
wait,
maybe
what
then
the fuck?
maybe then at that point you're like,
we need to
we
change
need to make these odds a little better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip around here a little bit. Take-Two. Holy smokes! The Ronald Pitchfork Chronicles, the Randy Pitchford Borderlands 3 story continues to develop here. Take-Two sent some private investigators to the house of a YouTuber who leaked some Borderlands 3 info. Matt Supmato Summers. Supmatos. Pretty good. One of my potential usernames.
Too bad you missed out on that one.
Yeah.
You could do something Matt E.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck. I could. Shit.
Well, not anymore.
Everyone pronounces it Mate.
Yeah, it just looks like Matt. Sup, Mate.
So here's what, to the best of my understanding, went down. Matt Somers, Somers, Supmato. He did not data mine this info himself. It's not like he was in there cracking the code, but I guess there was somehow through a Twitch extension, people were able to find unreleased footage of Borderlands 3. And they did their data mining like the internet does. They pulled out a bunch of things about how, like, we think there's going to be 4 new character classes. We think yada, yada, yada. And then Supmato ran the video on his YouTube channel, like he does, just reporting, like, here's what we've heard. Here's the scuttlebutt, yada, yada, yada. From what I understand, he was not himself involved in any illegal activities procuring this information or even really redistributing it once it is kind of in the public, like it sounds like it was.
The public does its thing.
So anyways, he put up this video. A few days later, 2 private investigators show up to his door. Sent allegedly by Take-Two. They say, hello, we're here on behalf of Take-Two. Let us into your house. We're going to snoop through your shit. Which
We'll shit on your lawn.
Well, apparently they must have, because they're not cops. Yeah. I mean, maybe it was like legal action was threatened of like, let us in now, or we're going to come back with the lawyers.
I would 100% think this was a like B&E or something.
Totally.
When this was going on, when they're like, we're private investigators, let us in or we will declare action, I'd be like, go do it.
Yeah,
do it. Bring the police, please.
And like you say, if this ever happened to me or something where someone came over and were like, hello, we're here on behalf of whatever video game company that you stream, yada, 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 I'd be like, fuck it, show me like the warrants or whatever you need to come in here, or like fuck off.
Yeah, this sounds like something that my grandma would let them in and they would take her television.
Yes. But Matt did let them in, even though they were trespassing on his property. He did agree to let them in and spoke with them, which is maybe big mistakes. And then within 20 minutes of them leaving, his Discord server, which is, a lot of like I have a Discord server for the TR folks. A lot of folks have communities on their Discord server. His Discord server and his Discord account were deleted. Take-Two put 7 copyright. It takes 3 copyright strikes. No, maybe it takes 2 copyright strikes baseball. Now. Yeah, well, YouTube and baseball very similar. I think it might take 2 copyright strikes. It's either 2 or 3
for
strikes on
channel?
YouTube. Yeah,
it's 3.
Is it 3 to get you like permanently? You are gone.
Baseball prevails.
Take-Two put 7 against him. Without even really citing what they were for or against, just like there's a general like
because you can do that now.
Release of company secrets or whatever is what they cite. And then if it did drop all but 1 apparently after he spoke with the investigators, but he still does have that 1 strike against his channel, which is kind of bullshit.
What can you get a strike? Can him just putting that footage on there be considered a strike?
If a company ever raises a complaint against you, you're basically fucked. Right. YouTube will 100% of the time take the company's side versus the creators, because company
the big
gets the
guy
money
wins every time.
So if anyone ever has beef with you on YouTube, they can just give you a strike, basically. And we're kind of in the fallout of that now, where he has spoken with investigators. He has kind of let his community know, hey, here's what happened. The stuff in the video, like the stuff he was apparently being investigated for, was real mundane. Like, we're gonna have 4 new character classes. We think the max level is gonna be like 65 or whatever the max level is gonna be. Wow. It was just like real, like run of the mill shit.
So I'm understanding, he put up a video of him presenting information that had been gotten from somewhere else.
Yeah, being like, hey guys, here's what we think's going on. We think there's gonna be 4 new classes.
And
it's
was he
all
the first?
Alleged.
Must have been just got out in front of it and been the first prominent guy to do this. Is that why they went after him?
So. Yeah. Keep in mind, this is a company where, and again, I'm drawing strings that don't exist, maybe, but it is not inconceivable that, and maybe I'm hesitant to say this is all supposition. This is. Maddie's making us. Don't sue me. Randy Pitchford's a fucking crazy person who is just cannot get himself out of the limelight. Loves to be in the spotlight. Loves to be in the camera. Loves to make crazy rash decisions. It would not surprise me if one night thumbing through YouTube, Randy saw this video. Oh, Borderlands 3. What? I'm gonna watch that. That's not out yet. Well, this guy's leaking secret. Like, it very much reeks of a personal crusade. It
Oh, yeah,
makes no
especially
sense.
Sending private investigators.
It makes
to a
no
YouTuber's
sense.
house.
Like there has to be. There's either more to the story that we're just not hearing, which is
Or he's
very,
just
very,
crazy.
very likely, or the person on the other end of this has some personal beef,
Yeah.
or like a vendetta.
He also might have been, and this is no better, just been like, I'm going to scare this kid. I'm going to fucking
Maybe.
go scare
Yeah,
him by
totally.
sending private investigators.
It sounds so much like Randy. Randy Pitchford, who's going to make you sit through 45 minutes of his fucking close-up magic before the Borderlands 3 presentation. That sounds a
Wow.
lot like Randy Pitchford. Randy Pitchford, who has alleged underage pornography on a USB stick that he's going to leave in a medieval times, along with the Borderlands 2 design doc. Yeah, that seems
That's
like a
right, yeah.
Pitchford move. I think that might have been last year. Was that last year?
I feel
Was
like
that
that was
this year?
this year.
That was
feel
a
like
couple
that was
months
this year.
ago.
Is the
Yeah.
Pitchford... It hasn't all happened in 2019. Surely not.
Oh,
Pretty sure.
Big year of Randy.
Big year.
Yes, I had to take my Randy Pitchford poster down after that.
Yeah, it's been a rough year for us pitchers.
So the last point here, the Discord server was taken down. Did he Summers himself take it down, or
No.
was this the?
20 minutes after these investigators left his house, the Discord poof gone.
Oh,
So
His
is
account
this,
poof
is this
deleted.
Summer's accounting of this information we have?
This is the like collective reporting on it now. This is
Okay.
all through Polygon, I believe is where
Because
I
I
found
had the
story.
same question as Bryce, where it was like, is Summer saying my account was deleted 20 minutes after they left?
And this is
or
this is
is
verified.
everyone saying, like, because maybe Summers deleted his account and this
Oh, I see what you
information
mean.
is coming from
I see
community
what you mean.
members?
I can't.
Who are-
I don't
who
have
knows?
that
Yeah.
exact answer, but this has all since been verified, reported on again and again. I'm not out there hitting the beats. I'm just,
I still hope that guy gets his Mario Maker levels back.
yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is similar.
The
Miyamoto
man is
hates
against-
that guy. Randy Pitchford hates this guy. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So that's like, it's super weird, super fucking weird. And the Borderlands 3 launch just continues to be this
We need to have an uprising.
sinking toilet bowl
Yeah.
spiral.
The man is stepping on us.
Randy,
All of them.
all of them. Ukes,
Ukes is,
makers of WWE 2K.
Ukes is getting ready to lift us up
Yes, at last.
while 2K tries to stomp us down.
Maybe the leading store, what I should have started with. WWE 2K developer Ukes, no longer at the helm. Interesting to learn this 2 months before the game is supposed to be out on October 22nd. But
Pay no attention to that.
don't mind. Yeah, Ukes for the first time since I believe like 2000 or early 2000s is not making the WWE 2K franchise. Instead, Visual Concepts, who does the NBA 2K stuff, which I guess 2019 sounded okay. One Alex Navarro of GiantBomb.com says 2019 NBA good, 2020 NBA bad.
There's two franchises in the NBA.
2K and
Live?
is
That
the
might not be
same? NBA. I thought it was NBA 2K Live.
Then there's a different one.
Yeah, I don't know what it is though.
Haven't played it.
Remember, that's different than hockey and football.
Is it
and
EA?
Basketball
Does
is-
EA have the other
EA probably. EA feels
basketball?
like it has every sporting license, at least one of them. So
So the WWE 2K games have been bad for a very long time.
some say 2013, some say far longer.
Yeah, they have been very iterative, just year over year. Of like, they don't change anything. They know it's a very much like Madden, very much like all the sports franchises. They know it's a franchise game.
Yeah.
They know those franchise buyers are going to buy it every year regardless. So they kind of just pump out the same shit every single year.
Yep.
Ukes has kind of publicly complained as much as you can while still being the developer of this stuff, being like, "Hey, well,
Very coy about the whole
we're really
thing.
held back by the license holders."
Yeah.
And like, oh, what does that mean?
It was. I remember the story when it came out, and it was very much more like them being like, it would be interesting to see what could be done without having to worry about. Like,
if only Vince would stop stepping on our balls.
that's hot.
I need you to. That's actually what I need was for Vince to. And
Get the
so
creative juices flowing.
we, read this story a few weeks ago where they are working on their own unlicensed wrestling product, which sounds fascinating. Apparently, they've been building their own tech for it for years.
Okay.
They have their own mocap and their own like engine and
Whoa.
all this stuff.
Seamlessly.
So maybe they'll make a great wrestling game for a change.
What do we think it is?
I don't
we
know.
think it's new,
I think it's original
weird
stuff.
characters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's unlicensed,
if it's
I think
unlicensed,
it
yeah,
has to be.
because I wouldn't even call it a rumor. The excitement around when they announced this was happening was, oh, are they doing AEW? This announcement came
What
right
is
when
that?
It's Cody Rhodes, who's a former wrestler, and the son of Dusty Rhodes, who was a very famous old wrestler.
The American Dream
split off and started his own wrestling promotion.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just a funky man.
Which has had the first couple shows they did were unbelievable. The second couple, not as much. But a lot of people, and it's tough to tell because I don't know. Like, I just think WWE has so much money that there are no real competitors.
Yeah.
In the end,
like it.
even if they start getting big, there's a way out of it.
It's just a new wrestling league.
Yeah, it's just another
a new wrestling promotion.
And I don't
wrestling
even
has
wanna,
been very bad and stagnant for a long time.
They come up and they constantly say, "Well, we're not viewing ourselves as a competitor to the WWE," but then on their shows they do stuff like destroy Triple H's throne with a sledgehammer, which was a very like shot across the bow at WWE. So it would have been cool, if unrealistic, to see them get a video game to kind of go up against that.
I wonder if they'll have I wonder if they can get individual wrestlers, even if they're quote unlicensed. It's like, we did a deal with Kenny Omega. We got him. Yeah, look, that's Chris Jericho. Great. Sure. I don't know.
I wonder if WWE still owns Chris Jericho's likeness.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I do. It does. It gives me hope that there might be an okay wrestling game next year. Sure. WWE 2K19.
I don't know if I want an okay. Like, I think I need the two halves of the pie. For me, are WWE and a good wrestling game.
Yeah, but you weren't gonna get that.
I know, but I don't think them giving me a good wrestling game without it being WWE. I don't think I want to play that either.
I might. I totally might.
Like, I don't enjoy the concept of wrestling games.
It's because they're not. It's because I think there's a world where where they're fun to play though, where they're like where they're not. We've just had too many years of WWE 2K.
There definitely is, because there used to be a world where we love to play wrestling games, but all those wrestling games I love to play, they were licensed.
That's I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. Do I care about it without the kind of show license? I don't know. It gives me zero hope for 2K20 of like, great, so now Visual Concepts is doing 2 games a year. Now they're doing an NBA and a fucking wrestling game every year. Awesome.
One of which is only average, like the one they're working on. It's not like that's a world beater, like the basketball one. Yeah, is not a world beater, and if it was, you'd be like, oh, maybe they can do that to the WWE.
Lend a little bit of that expertise or whatever, but no, I absolutely zero faith. Yeah, it sucks. Every time I spend a lot of time in 2K19 for the TRWL stuff now, and there's a lot of fun, like the making a wrestler and the way it looks. Though it looks fucking awesome.
It's a lot of stuff that has to do with you, not the game.
Totally. Yeah. The playing, goddamn it, is terrible. Last story I have this evening. I pulled this for the old WoW friends. Did you guys know Blizzard is helping friends find their old classic WoW friends? With a thing on their website, on their forums called Classic Connections. Super cool.
You just have to like spit in a test tube and send it in the mail.
23andMe. Yeah. Apparently, you post on this forum thread. You kind of like go through the things of like I was an Alliance player. You basically type in all your info from 2004 and try to re-link up with those people that you used to play with. Of like, I was on this server in this guild playing this class or whatever. And the idea is that hopefully, you know, if Bryce and I were in the same guild and we live a world apart, where we rekindle that friend? Oh, Bryce, I remember you were that.
That's kind of cool.
It is.
I
think
that's pretty neat.
Yeah. Totally cool because
that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, we had so many like internet WoW friends that to this day, I even wrote a couple on the fucking sheet that to this day I remember their goofy ass stories. That it would be weird to I would get back in there and talk with some of those guys.
There's even like far more recent examples of like me and Andy always laugh and talk about this guy we played in Destiny one drunken night, and he was this Australian. No, Carrie, we're still friends with Carrie.
Still play with
Carrie. Some Australian who was brand new to the game, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, mates, I'm not very good at this game yet. I'm hoping you can just kind of show me the ropes." And we're playing. It was like a really hard mission that we were playing. That we were queuing into, and me and Andy were just drunkenly just screaming at each other, chirping, and this guy's laughing the whole time and is super underleveled. And at the end of we got to the boss, we dumped into him as you do in Destiny, and me and Andy both died. And it was just this guy. We're just screaming at him.
Save us!
And he gets the final kill, and it was just this great, fantastic moment. And I never friended him on Xbox after that.
It's the one that got away.
Yeah, and I always think, I wonder I wonder what that guy's doing.
Yeah.
I wonder if he even still plays Destiny.
It would be cool if there was a thing where you're both like, I still play Destiny and want to find that Australian guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to find these two drunk Canadians.
Yeah. The problem is it's literally like the pool is like, it was this one mission at this one time.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier on WoW,
Yeah.
but like it would be weird because like some of those people, like you spent more time with them than you did anyone else. In early WoW, where you're like, I have to play 150 hours a week because we are fucking raiding and all this shit, and like I'm spending 10 to 12 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week with some of these people.
Is this chatting or keyboarding?
A little bit of both sometimes. For raiding, definitely chatting.
The people you knew pretty well, it was almost always voice.
Or like usually when you're getting down to business, it's 40 people all in one voice channel, so everyone like it's fucking mics closed unless you have to say something because 40 people is just too many.
Yeah.
Right.
So usually you'd all be in the voice channel, and then like splinter chats would break off, and you'd all like all the warriors are shit talking the warlocks.
Yeah.
And
Shit.
all the druids hate the priests, and like
shit.
all the drama would happen in these little kind of private chats. It was a wild time. Mm-hmm. Somebody called us a shining light on a dark server one time.
Yep.
Do you remember that guy's name? It was like Q something. Quiv.
I have no idea.
Quinn.
It was a long one. I was trying to remember the name of the person you kept calling a Twinkie, and we kept sending them all of our junk mats from Ongoro.
I don't remember that, but
No.
That sounds like the kind of guy you'd want to get in touch with.
Literally,
Like, remember when
10
we
of
sent
us
you all
just
the...
mailing him garbage for
Yeah,
like
because
weeks.
there's like the crystals, and there's like Aurelia is a Twinkie, something like that.
He's probably using this
And then you
service to
just-
try and find you
Here's some
guys so he
Ongoro
can kill
soil.
you.
Here's
Yeah.
a bunch of red
Oh,
crystals.
right.
Just
And
a
that's right.
bunch
In
of
the
trash.
message, in the mail that you were sending him the garbage, you'd have to be like, hey, just remember, dude, you're a Twinkie.
Yep.
Yeah, that's... Man, to relive the memes of yesteryear. You can now on the Blizzard forums.
Sweet.
Podcast, talkingreckless.com is an email address. Oh, I don't have it ready. Man, all right, I'm just going to listen. Vero sent in this fucking voicemail about Will Smith 10 years ago.
You just put it in the mic.
And
All right.
The Don't You Hear has finally caught up. We can play it for you now.
That's
here
right.
live.
I've been saying we're going to play it forever. I listened, and he called me out last week. I listened to it. There isn't even really a question,
Okay.
but
Those are the best emails.
We'll just play it here for you now.
Also the worst.
Yo, what's up, Wrecked Talkers? This is your resident Will Smith voice caller. I just wanted to call in and let you know something about I Am Legend since you guys were talking about it. By the way, I
shit.
think it's kind of funny that in both of the last podcasts you brought Will Smith up again. But anyway,
That happens a lot.
I just
2
wanted to
years
say
ago.
that the I Am Legend book. Well, first of all, I love the movie. And in college, I took an English class that was required, but you got to pick the topic, and I chose a class that was apocalypse themed, in which we read I Am Legend, the book, which is actually completely different from the movie. It's like nothing like it. Like there's very, very little similarities, but it's absolutely amazing, and I can't recommend it enough. So yeah, thanks.
I know what I'm reading on the way.
Oh shit! Not even a thought or like a question or anything. Really, just like
Basically,
I
read
read
this
it.
book.
I read it in college, and it's way different than the movie.
It's good enough for me.
Yeah. I
Sounds
like
like
the
a
sound of
chill
his
People should
voice.
send
Yeah.
more fucking voicemails.
He's got a nice voice.
All that build up,
Yeah.
all these weeks there, we finally have it.
Worth it.
Oh.
So silky
Was this the
smooth.
group
Yeah.
we were waiting for?
No, it was last week. Apparently, we had
Oh.
because it's like Kev, Warren, me, and you. Are you a big Will Smith? No, Oliver maybe. I know there are four like
Oliver.
noted Will Smith marks on
I don't think
here.
we had a show last week.
Well, a week before. Or last week we did. It was I'm all fucking turned around. Podcast at talkingrex.com is an email address, or you can drop those voicemails, which I will remember to play as long as there's actually a question or a thought in them.
The within the month guarantee.
You can drop those on our Discord. You find by just going to talkingreckless.com, clicking on the Discord tab. Duncan wrote this into the subreddit. Wow, so many ways to get in touch. r/talkingreckless. He says, if video games could become truly photorealistic, they could look like real life. Do you think it would be ethical for games to do so?
Yeah.
I'm talking truly photorealistic.
Yeah.
Wait, you are?
It was that's how
Truly.
Oh, I see.
that's how it ends. But yes, he was talking like it is video games are indistinguishable from real life.
Sure.
They look so good.
I mean, I don't know that it's much different than movies.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
You know it's a video game.
It's a very good point. I think they'd be a little bit different. I don't think you.
I think it
would
is a
maybe
little bit-
Be, well, no, I mean, if games were truly photorealistic, I don't think they would be produced quite like they are now. You might not be fucking clicking in the thumbsticks to gouge out Poseidon's eyes or whatever.
But if I could, I would.
Make me throw up.
That'd be intense.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, is it just the act of like actually having to pull the figurative trigger or click the figurative sticks
No,
that make it so weird?
The visual.
Sure, but you see those visuals in movies, which are photorealistic
yeah,
because they are.
but you're not the one.
Yeah,
pulling
you're not
the
doing
trigger.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Is-
exactly.
I think
is
it
that,
is.
Is that the thing that makes it happen?
I understand.
Is this much different than, let's say, a Bandersnatch, where you are saying, stab that woman, and then you stab that woman?
Fight the bitch /
Fight
nunchucks,
the
whatever
bitch.
that one
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, I never thought about the movie angle. I guess I sort like he asks, is it ethical? And like I can only sort of understand the ethical quandary of like, yeah, it's like I'm, you know, I wouldn't want to, if Call of Duty were photorealistic, would I want to play No More Russian? Like probably
Yeah,
not.
no.
It needs to be a step removed, I think. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to play it.
So maybe they would, maybe it would be. I don't know. Is it unethical
Well,
though?
no, because I think, like, for me, the thing that kind of hitches in my brain is if it's photorealistic, I'm picturing them get to the point where the technology is so good to make these people seem real. It is not even actors being filmed.
Yeah.
Right? Like-
it's like a digital
Right.
construct or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
However, it's like being the production aside. Does it make it different how it's produced? If these are film
I
actors
don't think it would.
versus
So it's never been photorealistic, but I feel like in my life growing up, it has always seemed damn close throughout my life. Like you could always tell what a video game was and what was real
yeah.
life.
But this is like a whole new. It would have to be. You would have to like wake up in the morning and then be like, "Oh shit! Did I leave my super photorealistic video game on, or am I here?" Like,
Yeah,
it
like,
is
what if-
indistinguishable.
What if what you're seeing right now was VR?
Yeah,
Well,
it is
now we're getting
total-
into this totally
then-
different thing
and
that I
then
have a whole lot of other issues
Someone's
with.
head just exploded
and
or
there
something.
and therein come the ethics of it as well. Of
Yeah.
like, would that be?
Yeah, I
It's
don't
kind of
think
this-
I
this, like,
definitely don't think
reality
ethics is an issue with
dissociation.
it. I think any problems that people are going to have are going to be people problems with their internal how they want to, like, if they don't want to play it, they don't want to play it. But if like I have a tough time distinguishing it from a movie where it's like, well, you can show lots of violence on movies,
Yeah.
and you don't have to make it look less like real people to get away with it.
It's very interesting.
Maybe just ties back
Quandary.
into the earlier story. Like the violence.
Mhm.
I think that might be a little more extreme in cases.
I'm okay with photorealistic violence. It's like suffering. It's that even in like movies, it's like I can handle Saw to the nines. I
Right.
love Saw. Is one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just something about humans. Like, oh, this dad's kid died or whatever, and like he is just fucking going through this. Just human suffering. I can't. Hits me. It makes me feel like I'm suffering.
But you're running through photorealistic VR with a katana just chopping people in half, and you're seeing them
the violence
real
I'm okay
time,
with.
all the organs, all
and
the
I'm
If
like,
it was
viscera.
Call- if it was-
look at that.
If it was photorealistic Call of Duty, I would have no problem with it. I don't think. Like, no Russian would hit me the way no Russian hits me, where I'm like, that was fucked up. And I would spend just as much time staying away from this game is just weird torture porn. I'm not going to play it as I would even now. Even when it's not photorealistic, I'm like, no, that's weird. I'm not going to play that.
That's why you don't play Tomb Raider.
That's right.
Two portraits.
fucking-
What?
Is it wrong to like? I like the deaths in Tomb Raider. And it's not like some weird like, oh, she's a pretty lady getting. Oh yeah. It's just I think the violent deaths are like
Would you if they were photorealistic?
Pretty crazy.
probably not.
Ooh.
No,
You don't think so?
that one where she's going down the fucking river or whatever
Yeah.
and gets the
And is it just
That was the
because
one time I died.
it's just because
Where it's
you were
flooding.
playing?
where
Like,
you're like
early
you're
on when
sliding
yeah,
down,
you go down
a
the waterfall,
fucking like
the shallow waterfall
Oh,
kind of
okay,
rapid.
no,
it
not the
ends
one.
with her like falling in that pool of blood.
Okay. Think of a different one.
Is that just because it was your failure that made it happen? Like, why is it so much easier on a movie to watch it?
For me, it wasn't they were hard to watch in Tomb Raider. I sort of brought them up because everybody in Tomb Raider is like, this is the disgusting aspect. Only
Sure,
perverts
it was, at
like
the time
this.
it was one of the best looking games that you could make, and
Yeah.
it had very graphic death.
For
Yeah.
me, it was more like wow, not only do they have deaths, because usually it's like your character ragdolls and you just fucking fade to black. It's like not only do they have deaths, but they like built these crazy cutscenes into all of these. Like, as soon as I saw the one down the rapids, I'm like, well, I need to know how these all happen. and like she gets torn apart by wolves in one of them, which is like really fucked up. And
I'd like to see some photorealistic God of War.
That would be intense.
It'd be great. They make photoreal. So any game that you have dragon.
Yeah, you just want to see a photorealistic dragon.
Well, no, like you can't. Like that's officially not photorealistic.
What about
Why not?
It would look like a lizard in real life. It could still be photorealistic without actually existing.
Sure, but it definitely would take you out of it. Like the only as close as I can get to why this would be unethical is because it'd be like, oh, it's real life. Like it's, you can't tell what's real and what's not.
Dinosaurs were real.
That's not true. You can't prove it.
I understand
that dragon at the top of Westhampton Mall
of like
fucking real.
It's fire.
Fuck.
I maybe I understand the wrong. I can recognize it's there. I don't feel equipped to like break it down and understand.
It's one of those things where it's like video games will never get
because like
I don't think
you, my gut instinct is like, well, just don't play it.
Yeah,
you know,
just don't play it.
If it's not for you, then just don't play it. But I'm sure there is more. I'm sure to me that feels like the layman's like.
But it is kind of going back to that first story. Some parts of this where it's just like, it's not real life. Don't use real life as a means. Like, don't use this fake thing as a means to justify how people are going to act in real life.
Yeah.
Violent movies nor photorealistic violent games are the reason for violence.
Until they get real.
Yeah,
and you don't know if you're in them.
What if well,
they
that's
put the helmets
thing.
on you?
What if they get real, and then you do violence in video games? You're like, I love violence.
It's true, but that should be happening already.
Now that it's photorealistic, and I can't tell the difference between real life and the video game, now I know I love violence. Or maybe go the other way. Like,
well, then the U.S. government was right.
Wow, I thought
then Walmart was right.
Holy, I thought violence was for me, but now that I'm in this photorealistic video game, whoa, what was I thinking?
Saving lives.
This is fucked up.
Yeah,
it could have the opposite effect.
Could go either way. Mm-hmm. Podcast.
Everyone should play violent video games.
Everyone should play violent video games.
Everyone should just play video games. Full stop. Mm-hmm. Violent or otherwise, whatever your cup of tea is.
You are the one who said all video games are violent.
All video games are violent. Yeah. All video games.
Super Smash Brothers? It's fucking violent.
Smash right in the name.
Yeah. Pokemon Snap? Fucking violent.
Super violent.
Snap right in the name.
Snap right in the name.
Mm-hmm. Dream Daddy?
Whoa.
Jesus.
That's sexually violent.
That's
the worst kind of violence. Yeah. Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address. Pull our chute on this filth crater that we're in.
You can't shoot your way out of a crater.
Fulton me! Fulton me! Pull my Fulton balloon. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider supporting the show on Patreon. Patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast. If you like wrestling, don't watch it. It sucks. Sorry to hear that. But the Suplex City Limits podcast, brother show to the Talking Reckless podcast, they got your wrestling broken down, one weekly podcast. Don't watch. It is, and we say it every week, and it's true every week, the worst it's ever been. Mm-hmm. The worst. Lots of stuff coming on the stream next week. I guess this week that you're hearing this in podcast time, we're going to be playing Jackbox at some point this weekend. I don't know when, Friday or Saturday, probably one of those 2 days.
Oh, shit.
Whichever the podcast isn't. And if you are already a patron, our first D&D module for the Hollow Manor, a dungeon that we designed on the stream, is up for you on the Patreon. It's all fancy. It's all, I don't know what the word for it is, Wizards of the Coast style.
Ooh.
The 2 columns, looks like a D&D book. Real fancy.
Oh, shit.
Took a long time.
PDF.
You're goddamn right.
Damn.
Monster stats in the module.
Oh,
I made my own stat blocks for you, the patron. You're welcome. It took all fucking day.
Your monsters are OP. This game sucks.
My monsters are a little OP. They're not even my monster. Well, one of them is my monster. One of them is from the book. One of them, I just pulled the stats from the book for you.
How dare you?
Convenient. You're welcome. That's all for you on patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast. That's all I have to say other than Galarian bong Weezing. Oh, it's so good to see you as I turn the page
if you say
over.
it fast, it sounds like a rich, like a Vaughn, so like a Galarian Bon Weezing.
I heard like McLaren. It's a fast car.
Spend the weekend with my uncle Galarian von Weezing. Bryce, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Colin Cox, thank you so much for being here.
It was seamlessly.
Sure was, Brandon Lynch.
I have to go. My students need me.
On you at home, thank you very much for listening. We're going to see you back here in a week. It'll be the 285th edition of the Talking Reckless podcast. We'll see you then. Why didn't I have Galarian bong Weezing as the picture for this one? What was I even doing?
Is that Diva? What is that?
Fucked up. I just didn't know. That's the Fortnite mech.
Oh.
Just didn't change it.
Diva.
My butt hurts, as is tradition.
Galarian bong Weezing and photorealism would be great. I don't think the world's ready. I'm going to turn this bad boy off. Thanks so much for listening, everybody.
You all see Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, I saw Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, there's a coughing in that, isn't there? Or Weezing?
Yeah, well, Weezing, yeah.
Isn't he fuzzy?
Everything's
Yeah,
fuzzy.
he is a little bit.
Is
Is that in the arena?
He's got like peach fuzz.
Is that when they're in the
Yeah.
octagon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he's the one who fills it full of smoke, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Would you consider that a photorealistic Pokemon?
Pretty close.
Yeah, getting there.
Yeah.
Getting there. Bye-bye.